Howdy doody, everybody. This is like our third straight week of recording, which is crazy.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
yeah, I think we have one more Sunday in us before my new schedule kicks in. And then, the really fucked up thing is if I wasn't coming back from the G1 on July 12th and it wasn't my mom's birthday, I'd be able to record that day, but shit happens.
Yeah.
But I'll probably be able to record the weekend before my birthday and maybe after. It just depends how they schedule me. I'm, of course, Mongo, joined as always by my co-host Liger Busa. This week we're talking. It's WCW Rebooked 95 to 2000, which is a Smackdown 2 ROM hack. I had not played it at all before you sent it to me. I didn't play it extensively, but I did play a decent amount of it this morning, and I think it's pretty good. But before we get there, how are you this week?
Not too bad. I've become the target of incels and Christian fathers today, apparently. That's what I was just looking at now. But yeah, not too bad overall this week.
Oh, well, what's the deal with the incels?
Oh, there's I don't. I know you don't have any interest in this Supergirl movie because it's based on the Tom King story, but there's like it feels like there's a hate campaign behind that movie that feels way larger than there was for anything else like Superman or anything. Like it feels like there's something behind it.
Oh,
And
culture war bullshit.
yeah. And Millie Alcock, the actress, she said something about like people getting mad or online or like abusive or aggressive or whatever the case. And she's specifically talking about like how some of these people like are like awful or whatever, and like in their profile it'll be like they'll say something like Christian father, even though they're being like an abusive piece of shit. So Christian fathers, of course, took that as a personal attack. So now they're saying like it's gonna bomb whatever. And they're always in the comments saying like shouldn't have gone after Christian fathers. Shouldn't have gone after Christian fathers. And I was like, nah, they deserve it. Fuck them or something. What I can't remember exactly what I said. So I'm getting a bunch of responses calling me homosexual slur, but it's fun because I get to report their comments and then they got to start another burner account.
There's also a decent chance these are fucking bots being operated too, because I've heard a lot about like people fucking paying the money to create bots that like auto post on stuff that have like certain words.
This
And
world is insane.
it's fucked up. And what's crazy is there was a huge pushback against shit like this prior to November of 2024.
Yeah, it's gotten so I don't even know. I don't even have the words for it. It's like you can't enjoy anything anymore. You really can't. Like it's no matter what it is, there's always going to be someone, especially if it's like, I mean, especially if it's something that stars like a woman, or a person of color, whatever the case may be. That's going to get the biggest backlash. But it just feels like anything that you like is just going to, get torn down. It's the most insane shit, and it's like shouldn't be this way. It's no longer about like I brought it up before, but people used to say things like, "Oh, I don't like this because of Hollywood slop," and it's not even that anymore. It's just like, how can we find the way to be as abusive and as horrible as possible?
And also, slop has lost all meaning because there's
Yeah.
inherently a lot of like superhero media is slop, but some of it has a fucking message. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying slop as long as you acknowledge that on some level it is. But like,
Yeah.
I see it like fucking people saying like the Mattel DC figures are slop, and it's like you don't. It's like Surf Dracula. It's lost all fucking meaning.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also like people don't want Hollywood slop; they want their own slop, and then their own slop is often when they like describe it, it's often worse than what Hollywood could ever come up with. It's just I don't know. You're right. It's ever since I think ever since Trump went into office, it's just been like a just a scene full of like just absolute bullshit. It's
The culture shifted back to I've seen people say like we're in the early 2000s again, but this feels like
No,
this feels like a cartoony version of what the early 2000s were.
in the early 2000s, there was like a bit of angriness in the air, but there was a lot of fun to it as well. And this is just people who are just like abusive 24/7.
Yeah, that's
You
what I
know,
mean.
it's
Like what's going on now feels like a cartoon, like a caricature of what people
right.
like when we talk about the internet being not such a nice place when we
Mm-hmm.
were kids.
Yeah,
This feels like everybody took that part of it and not that was like 15% of the experience. The other 85% was actually kind of fucking cool.
yeah. It's just incredibly, incredibly gross, and it's so funny. Like they talk about like you've had the woke's had its time and woke is dead and stuff, and it's like so the opposite of woke is just like being as
A
abusive and as
bigot.
angry as possible. Yeah, that's what you want, right? Cool, awesome.
Yeah, the worm's going to turn on this shit eventually, and these people are going to be fucking terrified. Before
Yeah,
we get
no,
there, though, we're going to have like the worst global economic collapse in fucking human history. Because
well,
there's
yeah.
this silly little guy over there in Israel that he just can't stop killing people. And I saw a clip of like Trump and the couch fucker doing like a little 180 on him, and there are people like, "Oh, it's so good that they finally realize this." Bitch, the midterm elections are in 4 fucking months. Do you think they mean any of the shit they're saying right now?
They go back and
They
forth all the time,
realize
don't they?
they realize that if they don't change the rhetoric and don't at least put on the fucking facade that they're trying to make things better, there's a chance they're not going to fucking have too many people in power around them. Granted, no matter what, the older Democrats are going to side with them anyway because the whole system's
Right.
fucking rigged. But like, these are people that realize there's a very real chance they can get out of power just as quickly as they got into it because their fucking voter base is starting to wake up too. Not all of them, but some of them. And it's like I feel like I'm living inside of like the fucking. I feel like I'm living inside of like a weird combination of like the world from Metal Gear Solid 4 and also like the world from Invader Zim. I can't quite explain it, but like none of this fucking feels real, but it is, and it sucks.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's so funny. Like you think about like old Twitter and like how different it was.
Yeah, like if you were on Twitter years ago, you didn't have to see posts from people whose opinions you didn't give a fuck about. Like fucking 15 years ago on Twitter, which God, 15 years ago, like my timeline was literally all people talking about like New Japan and Noah and Ring of Honor, a little bit of WWE, a little bit of TNA in video games.
Mhm.
If I had a Twitter account right now, I would have no fucking choice, but to see like a million goddamn things from people I would set fire to if I saw them face to face.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere, and like honestly, even the discussions about wrestling on there now are such bullshit that nobody wants to be a part of the shit. Like no sane person, which I guess says a lot about me that I'm completely insane. But I don't know. At the end of the day, to me, it's like I like egging these people on a bit. It's I don't know. It's fun for me.
I mean, the GWE discourse would have been a lot different on Twitter in like 2011. Twitter would have handled 2026 GWE discourse way differently.
Mm-hmm.
But like we talked about, I think it was last week, like or 2 weeks ago. Like everybody's got to be. Well, Kenny Omega's one or Okada's one spot higher than Jerry Lawler. I don't fucking care what you think if you voted. Like fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole point of GWE is people watch the footage and they have a discussion. If you immediately jump to I don't take your opinion seriously, then fuck off.
But that's how things work today, right? It's like you
Yeah, it
can't have
sucks.
there's no discussions. It's either you're wrong or you're right. And if you're wrong,
Everything is in absolutes.
I'm going to call you a piece of shit until the argument's over, whatever the case may be, or someone gets banned, or whatever the case.
It's fucking stupid. Yeah. I'll note real quickly before we start talking about the actual topic. My aunt's funeral was on Friday. Couple of things I mentioned this to you before we started recording. One of my cousins just sat down completely unprompted and started talking to me about WCW. Like, he just sits down and we kind of look at each other and he goes, I stopped watching wrestling because he knows, like, if I'm at any sort of family function, I'm the cousin that likes wrestling. That's all people are going to talk to me about.
Yeah.
Which, that's fine. I don't have anything to talk about these people with anyway. But he's like, Vince McMahon ruined wrestling. I stopped watching when WCW went away. When I come home from work, sometimes if I find WCW on YouTube, I'll watch it. He talked to me about blading. He talked to me about Funk versus Cactus. It made that day significantly easier than it would have been otherwise. And I had said this in my Instagram story, I think it was yesterday, but they had like a pastor that didn't really know my aunt, but he sat down and asked questions of my cousins who were, respectively her son and her grandchildren. My mom was also talked to. And he basically crafted the service around what they had told him. And it was like, if you never met my aunt and you just happened to, for whatever reason, stumble into that particular funeral home at that particular time, you would have gotten a pretty complete picture of who my aunt was. And I contrast that with my uncle's funeral in 2020, where the bullshit pastor they brought in heard, well, he liked to fish and he watched church services on Sunday mornings because he couldn't actually physically get to the church. And the dude like ignored all of the stuff about the time he spent with his grandkids. One of his daughters specifically mentioned he would always go to wrestling shows with me. And he literally just banged on about like he watched his church services every Sunday. And I remember looking at my mom during that service and I was like, this is like kind of shameful. Like this isn't that's a part of who my uncle was. Like worked as a mechanic for like decades and a really fucking good one too. That wasn't mentioned at all. But like the service for my aunt, and I shook the guy's hand and was like, thank you. That was great. But the service for my aunt was like, yeah, this guy actually sat down and had some conversations and figured out who my aunt was and delivered a pretty complete picture. And there were references that you would only get if it was like somebody in the family that told you. Like there was a craft store a couple of towns away that like, I guess when they were cleaning my aunt's stuff out, she still had like bags and boxes from that craft store. It's been closed for like 20 years. And we shut down the busiest street in my town. I was telling you this for a little bit because it was a big goddamn procession. And I think if my aunt could have saw that, if my aunt would have known that on the way out, that she'd have a police escort and we'd shut down a busy street at like noon on Friday, she would have, this was closer to 1 o'clock, but like she would have been tickled. And you never really appreciate how bizarre that whole thing is until your cousin who you've never actually really had a conversation with just sits down and talks about WCW. And I was like, God damn, man, that was such a big help. I was like, and like he went to talk to other people. My mom's like, what were you guys talking about? I was like, WCW. It's the stupidest fucking thing. Because like I mentioned to you, like he brought up blading. Like he saw a video on YouTube of like somebody explaining it. And I said it to you before we started recording. I was like, I'm so glad that we're in like the most populated area of this fucking funeral home.
That's so
they can hear this too.
I can't even imagine that conversation.
It was great. He was talking about how bloody Cactus and Funk was. He was talking about how like WWF leaned too hard into like the women in like skimpy clothes wrestling. He's like, that stuff's cool, but like I want to see actual wrestling. And I was like, God damn, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
This motherfucker gets it. And we talked about like all the Four Horsemen rosters. It was great. It helped. Like funerals are so weird because I've been to so few. Like I went to my aunt's funeral when I was like 4 years old in 1995 and I didn't really understand what was going on. I got yelled at by my dad because I was like, hey mom, before we go back home, can we go to Kmart and get Sting? Because they're the San Francisco toy makers Sting at Kmart. I'm like 4. I don't get what's going on here. All they told me was we had to go to fucking Michigan. And I was like, why? What's going on? And like, I went to my uncle's funeral in 2000. By that point, I understood a little bit more of what was going on. And that was weird because they do the thing at the viewing where they take you up to the casket and they're like, well, you can touch their hand if you want. And that always weirded me out because they're cold. Obviously, they're no longer living. I get that it's meant to be like a comforting thing. And I did touch my aunt's hand and she was like ice cold. And I was like, oh God, that's a dead body. But like I avoided walking up to that casket as long as I could because like this is two people that lived with us in the house I grew up in that are no longer with us. Three technically if you count my grandma because she was with us a lot more than she wasn't in the last few years before we moved out. And the realization that time marches on, nobody's getting any younger, and I really don't have that much longer with the people I love. That sucks. And that's a fucking really bleak way to start this. So shout out to my cousin Paul. We're going to talk about WCW now. So WCW Rebooked 95 to 2000. It's a SmackDown 2 ROM hack. It's got pretty much everybody you'd want from a particular time period.
There's also like secrets in the Royal Rumble. I guess they must replace like the Big Show and Shamrock who were in the Royal Rumble but weren't in the actual game, right? I think it was Big Show and Shamrock.
Yeah.
Or was that the first
one? Yeah, because no, it's SmackDown 2.
Okay.
Because I remember seeing the video on YouTube like 15 years ago and being like, that's fucked up. I didn't know they were in the Rumble. Then I did a season mode playthrough one day. It was one sitting. It was like 8 hours or whatever. I think I've talked about this before. Because I wanted to unlock Cactus and I had to fucking play the Rumble. I didn't have to. I could have skipped it, but I'm a psychopath. And fucking here comes Ken Shamrock, and I'm like, oh. So it's not some sort of weird fucking mod that I don't know how to do. He's just here.
Yeah, it was so strange.
I kind of wish they had done that with all the legends they have removed from the game too.
Right, yeah, that'd been cool.
Because like imagine how crazy you would sound with no evidence that Bob Backlund showed up in SmackDown 2. I didn't play the season mode because it didn't occur to me. I just was like, oh, Vader's in this, Goldberg's in this, a bunch of other people I like are in this. I'm gonna see what they play like. And I think some of these animations are like backported from like later games. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think Nash did a powerbomb, and I was like, that's definitely not in. I don't know if it was Nash, it might have been someone else, maybe Sid or somebody, but I was like, that, or maybe even Vader, but I was like, that's definitely not in SmackDown 2.
Because the Vader attack doesn't look like it's from SmackDown 2 either. Just the way it connects, it looks like the one the DLC character has in like 09. I might be wrong on that. I probably am.
No, yeah, there's definitely some stuff in here that's not, default SmackDown 2 stuff, which is super cool too.
Yeah, there's some of that with like the one ECW ROM hack that's out there. Like Rhino has his actual taunt and the gore.
Right.
From like Here Comes the Pain or Shut Your Mouth or whatever. I like that they have the Saturday night entrance in this. It's not like 100% accurate, but I don't care. It looks cool.
Yeah, there's like Saturday night, pay-per-view, arena, and Nitro, and they all are like really well done.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of work that went into this. Like the entrances, it's not somebody walking out in front of a Titantron. It's like a green screen kind of them walking out against a generic entrance backdrop, which I think it's perfectly fine.
It's just like sort of like the Kurt and for like Nitro or whatever. But I kind of like that. I think that's better than just the Titantron in the background.
Yeah, I think we talked about this when we reviewed the first two SmackDown games, but I never really liked that.
Yeah, it was always like, for me, it was like skip it as soon as it comes up. I also like how in this game, instead of the casket match, they've got a what was it called? It's like a case match, and it's just like a crate. It's just like a wooden crate that you put the opponent in. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I didn't play that one too much. I think I played one. I think it was like Hack and fucking Saturn, maybe.
Yeah.
I like the texture work in this too. Everybody looks pretty good. I think Goldberg's stance is like the first half of the Brock stance animation with like the arms down and kind of like the rolling shoulders.
I noticed that as well. Yeah. I think what's interesting is like we've talked in the past about WCW, NWO live, and if WCW had continued, or if the relationship with THQ had continued, considering what SmackDown became, what could that have looked like? Because it was at least online at the time they were showing off. The websites were showing off Toukon Retsuden 3, and we're like, this is WCW NWO live. And if you think like that's where it started off, like the idea, and SmackDown ended up using the Simple series, then you could imagine the same thing would have happened if WCW was still with them. So I think this is probably the closest we ever get to that game. But like obviously it's got more of a much bigger roster when you're starting off in '95. Like you've got Sabu in here, which I wasn't expecting, which is really cool. But yeah, like I can't imagine anything else would get like this close to what I imagine WCW NWO Live would have actually been if it, was actually a thing.
Outside of like just a dedicated like 98, 99 one, yeah. Honestly,
Yeah, exactly.
This is as close as we're gonna get. Kind of like the Project Retro Randy's doing. That's as close to a proper revenge sequel as we're ever gonna get.
Right. Yeah.
With the 99 roster. I was talking with, this is completely unrelated to this, but I was talking with somebody about this recently because I'd mentioned to him I have the Bundy prototype. Imagine if fucking like LJN doesn't go, if they don't do the stupid Enertech guns and LJN doesn't go away. Think of like the massive ripple effect that has. There's no THQ and there's no Jax. What the fuck do wrestling video games and figures look like if Jack Friedman like doesn't sell off LJN to Acclaim and form THQ and then later Jax?
Can't even imagine it.
Like when you talk like most important people in wrestling history, in a weird fucking way, Jack Friedman's one of them. Like the impact he had on like wrestling merchandise across two different forms of it for as long as he did too, because 85 to 88 for LJN, and then what, like 96 was when the THQ WCW deal's done. The first game comes out in 97. So 96 to 2013, they were the main licensing, video game licensing partner for like the number one promotion, because WCW was number one when they got it, and then the Fed was number one by the time that deal kicked around. And then the action figures 96 to 2010. And you could argue the TNA line extends that a few years. Like immeasurably important to like wrestling on the consumer end. It's wild. And like I was talking with this person about like what does the next WWF toy line look like if those articulated LJN figures come out? I'm sorry for the tangent, but this is on my brain. So
no.
I don't think we get the Hasbros as we get them. I think Hasbro might do GI Joes if we even get a Hasbro line at all.
Right. Yeah, it's really, it's like a completely different world.
Yeah, it's nuts to think about. Like, does Hasbro go after WCW if LJN doesn't go under and they stick with the WWF?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, because if they made the figures to compete with what the articulated line would have been, the whole history of wrestling action figures completely changes.
Yeah.
If LJN doesn't do those stupid fucking Enertech guns. Lord. But yeah, I like this ROM hack a lot. It feels very WCW. I don't know if it's just DuckStation on my Steam Deck, but there's no like menu music, so that was kind of weird.
No, that happened to me as well. While I was using DuckStation on my PC, yeah, I actually like messed with the settings and it started up in the options and then it turned off again. So I guess that was by choice maybe. But I do like that if you have the background music on during matches, you don't get the music, but you do get like bits of commentary. Yeah, I think that's a really cool. It's repetitive, of course, because it's just replacing like the audio track of the music. But it's a really cool idea. You have Heenan, Shivani, and Bischoff at times like coming in with like different lines. Like Heenan talks about how somebody wrestled since he was a kid, and other things, and it's just a nice little detail.
Yeah, I like the idea of doing that. Like that one Legends mod had the audio tool thing where like you got background music with just kind of generic like Gorilla and Jesse audio. I thought that was kind of cool.
I would imagine like going through like hours of footage and being like, okay, this is what I want to use, this is what I don't want to use. You know, it's yeah. I
Yeah.
think most people these days would probably just AI it, right?
Or weren't there people doing that for like 2K?
There were people who do actually yeah there's people that do the ring announcer files, but there was also people that were doing that someone was doing the commentary and like taking the same lines and I think replacing it with Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. Somebody does stuff like that every year, but I don't think any of them actually like fully complete. I think there's someone that's doing it again this year, but yeah, I mean that's long. That would take a very long time.
You know what's been on my brain for like 10 days now, basically since I started getting hyped for Dominion.
What's
I
up?
love like Freem Edition. Ye Lord's All Japan 64 is phenomenal. We need more Japanese wrestling centric projects, which I understand we're getting into like a niche of a niche of a niche at that point.
I think
But I
to me,
kind of
like,
want to see like a Japanese conversion of SmackDown too.
oh yeah, because I mean, there's the pro wrestling too exists, and you know that's cool with like all the match types and stuff, but you don't really have a you know a very big roster for that. So to see something with like a deeper roster and you know hacked in moves and stuff would be really cool.
Yeah, like that's been on my mind. And like somebody finally making Virtual Pro 3 a thing using I would prefer VPW2 as the base, but like I understand if you like want to use No Mercy also.
Yeah, I
But
want like I also think like Virtual Pro 2, especially if you want to bring like stuff like Korakuen and all that over, like that would be much easier. Just using the No Mercy. Um, I want someone to do like an indie Japan project. Like I want IWA and Wing and all this, you know, mashed into one game. Like there's parts for like Leatherface and VPW2 and you know, I want Crypto Keeper, I want Boogeyman, I want all those shitheads in a ROM hack.
speaking of indie stuff, I've talked with Ray about this and we both come down on the side of like it's way too much goddamn work. But I would really love to see somebody try Forever Indie, the HIW
Ooh.
project from 2006.
Yeah.
That like able to run on like regular hardware. Oh lord, it would be it would be ridiculous. But like I also acknowledge like I'm just saying I want this thing and there's a ton of work that goes into it.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
just like throwing out into the ether things that I think would be really neat. And I think
Yeah.
like it hypothetical Virtual Pro 3, if you do it from like an O1 perspective, because I think once you get past O1, then it's kind of like not as believable. Not that that matters, but like if you do like an O4 Virtual Pro 2 project, my brain's kind of like, we're getting a little out of our time frame here. But like you do like an O1 project and maybe center it mainly around Noah, because that might have been who they went with anyway.
Mm, true.
That's also just me wanting to keep like, proper versions of like Akiyama and Kobashi and No Fear.
Yeah. No, I think
But
that's
there's
probably
there's
right.
some meat on the bone for that, I think. And like, Freem figured out how to do the multiple different rings with Freem Edition. So you could have the New Japan knockoff ring. You could have, an All Japan O1 knockoff ring, which incidentally would look exactly like the ring in BPW2,
Could you change
basically.
the turnbuckles though?
I don't know. Well, didn't Ray might have figured out how to do that for the Pride hack. My brain's fucking blanking on me because I haven't played that ROM hack in a hot minute.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I mean,
But like,
at the end of the day, it's a minor thing. It's just something I was curious about.
yeah, I'd imagine it's possible. Like with all the other stuff we've seen, that it's like I don't know how plausible that is. I would be very surprised if like that's something that can't be done.
I saw in was it the prime time and Saturday Night's Main Event mod for WrestleMania 2000 have the WWF logo on the turnbuckles, which is really cool.
That is pretty interesting. Those look neat. I
Yeah,
haven't I don't know if they're properly available yet. If they are, I haven't
I don't
downloaded
think
and
so.
played them. But I probably will. I'll probably download the one that's more towards the end of the Hulkamania era, like the Hasbro era stuff,
Yeah.
specifically that's prime time. Um, it's really cool the stuff's being done for Mania 2000, but like I kind of want to see the stuff done using No Mercy Plus as a base.
I wonder if a lot of people just use WrestleMania 2000 because maybe it's a bit easier to make changes to. I really don't know.
I would imagine that's got to be the reason.
Plus, if you
It's
do
just
No
the
Mercy, it's
arenas seem
like,
super hard to like. It seems
yeah.
super hard to just make the arenas look right, but yeah, No Mercy would require much more intensive work.
Yeah, plus if you want to do like the story mode and edit that to your liking and stuff as well, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, you'd have to be getting paid for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the idea to do like a territories ROM hack using Virtual Pro 2, but I never like I got to the roster planning phase and then just kind of stopped.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot to go through. Like I was looking at the tool for the Yaki games, and I was like, I don't know what the hell. I'm trying to like read explanations as to what's happening. It's just like I can't. My brain's gonna break. I feel like if I started something too, I'd never finish it because I'm like that, right? Like it's like I'm always moving on to something else. So um yeah, I mean, if someone wants to make one, like you know, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I would play it for
Yeah.
certain.
Yeah, I just
Um,
love the idea of like especially when you got like Kawasaki Stadium and VPW2, like an indie project would be super cool.
isn't that one inspired project adding Japanese wrestlers?
Um, yeah, I think so.
I
I think
feel
there's
like I
some
saw
that's
Vader and Kawada.
yeah, because he was taking. I think he was actually taking some from the Pro Wrestling too, and like making changes to them. Yeah, that's another cool
Yeah,
project
just
I need to check out.
yeah, me too. I've been saying it for like what feels like 3 years now that I'm gonna look into that. It's a cool it's a cool thing that like SmackDown 2 is getting as much attention as it does because it's there were people for years that were like all the SmackDown games are terrible, blah blah blah. They're not terrible. Most of those games are actually pretty good, and it's cool that there's a mod scene that isn't trying to grift people and allegedly steal other people's work and pass it off as their own.
Yeah, it's funny what people choose. I mean, it makes sense. It's all the Aki games and SmackDown 2. That makes sense. I'm just waiting for someone to like make a mod of like a ROM hack of like I don't know Attitude or something.
God, you know what the biggest brained attitude thing would be?
What's up?
Japanese wrestling.
Oh God, with voice
Fucking
samples and everything.
imagine. I mean, you'd have to dig through a lot of TV footage to make that work. Like a lot of
he
like TV footage.
you pick the Great Mood and he just goes maybe.
Oh, yeah. My favorite thing about that whole incident, if I could have a favorite thing about it, was like you had Western fans trying to like make excuses, like, well, maybe he didn't say that word, buddy. He said both of them.
Sure, I did.
It,
You know, what you could actually do for if you took wrestlers from Toukon Retsuden 4, they have their own rants in that game. You could use those for voice samples.
See, I feel like this might be the one thing we put out into the ether that actually happened. No, you know
Yeah,
what
I
I
don't
want?
want
Fuck
it.
all that. Fuck that. I want somebody to take Thunder and make a Japanese wrestling game.
Oh my God.
This is what happens when I start thinking.
You just have Yoshinari Tsuji just saying body slam and pile driver over and over again from KOC 2.
I want Yoshinari Suji as a fucking hidden character.
I could see that. I mean, if you're doing it proper, you have to do something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you take like all the staff and like the creatures and stuff, and you put in like the referees and stuff from promotions, and you have like Kaneko Man in there and shit.
Yeah, see, this is a good idea. Like, this is
Yeah,
unironically a really funny idea.
there you go.
It would take way too much work. But
Oh, of
goddamn, it
course,
would be
yeah,
funny.
yeah. It would be something to see, that's for sure. Like, I'm just trying to picture it in my head. It's like, it's so wrong.
Yeah, just like imagine seeing Toshiaki Kawada and like Tenzan, but in Thunder.
Oh Jesus, I've got the heebie-jeebies.
This is the thing. This is the stuff dreams are made of.
This is a
As much
curse.
fun as that is.
This is like something you dream up, and then it happens, and then you have to deal with something terrible in the wake of it. Like, it's like
I don't
some
think this would cause 9/11 2 or anything.
no, but it's like opening the box from Hellraiser or something. It's wrong.
I still want to see it happen. I feel like my life would be complete if I could just if I could just play as Tenzan in WCW Thunder. Oh god dang. I've been thinking a lot about like Japanese wrestling games lately, like Pocket Pro Wrestling. I've played that a handful of times in
Hmm.
my life.
Yeah.
The game seems pretty neat. I played I played Big Bang on the Switch and kept getting the ever living shit kicked out of me. That was a
Is that
that was
not
a
the
fun
same?
use of like
Is that not the same game? I'm
no
losing the plot here.
no. Big Bang is the game that's on the Neo Geo Color that has like way less detailed graphics, honestly, than Pocket Pro Wrestler or
Right.
Pocket Pro
Okay.
Wrestling. Pocket Pro is a Game Boy Color game that I remember even at the time reading on like Game Facts. Like this game is amazing. It's the best wrestling game on the Game Boy. And like I'm looking at it right now, the sprites are nice and big and kind of detailed. It's one of those games where you can Irish whip somebody off the ropes at the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen too. Which
Is is Pocket Pro the one of some like different match types? Or is that
I'm
I can't remember.
currently
There was like it was either Big Bang or Pocket Pro had some matches that you wouldn't expect in like a handheld.
it looks like from the Game Marks video, they're just playing straight up wrestling matches.
No, okay.
Oh god, so I swear I'm not bringing this up to dunk on anybody. On the sidebar on YouTube, underneath the Big Bang Pro Wrestling video, there's a what really happened to Ultra Pro Wrestling video from Kenny Bomb.
Yeah, I watched that. It's it's not like a hit piece. It's just the I forget his name, but the other dude that does a lot of Ultra Pro videos, he's the one that
Mr. Dubs.
had the Mall of America, and he's basically just like talking about like everything that's happened. It's not like it's not like a big expose or anything. As the title might imply.
Yeah, the title and the fucking thumbnail kind of worked me.
Got to get the views.
Yeah. Well, Kenny Bomb's also like he seems like a nice guy. He's also like a My Faction soldier. So
That one of his videos I just remember is like 2K26, and it's got a Jericho model as the thumbnail, and I was like, oh, dude,
yeah, that aged well, didn't it?
yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah, I need to get a copy of Pocket Pro Wrestler. Or Pocket Pro Wrestling, I'm sorry, it's Pocket Pro Wrestling Perfect Wrestler. I don't remember if this is the game developed by SNEO or if it's Big Bang. I think it's Big Bang.
I think it's Big Bang. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Those fuckers had their hands in a bunch of shit back in the day.
Yeah, they don't get the credit they deserve because when people think of Fire Pro, they just think Spike are human, but not the development team.
Yeah. Weird that like the last time I looked, and this may have been changed since the last I looked, they're not credited for like KOC.
Yeah, I
So
don't
they
know what the
really
deal was with that.
They had 2 development teams making wrestling games at Spike in the 2000s, if that's to be believed.
That's insane.
Could not have that happen now.
Oh no. I think it's something I was thinking about the other day. It's like imagine if there was a console that was a little bit different, which just seems impossible in 2026, where you had like a different team making another WWE game. I don't even know why they just don't try it. I know they did. What the hell was that game called a few years ago?
Battlegrounds.
Yeah, and it's like, but you should have known from the beginning that wasn't going to work. But if you made another game then if a different style and played differently, maybe a bit more arcadey, then you could have something there. Why not try it? But they're just
Because it's like
stick to it.
$40 million or $50 million to make a AA video game now.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is that the video game industry is eating itself?
Yeah. You know what's crazy though? I'll say this. I've been playing Adventures of Elliot, and other than the fact that that game drains the Steam Deck battery like super quickly, uh, that game is another like compelling argument for why anybody that has a problem with Square doing those games is a dummy. Those games are relatively low budget. They're always high quality. They don't take fucking long to develop. Why more companies aren't looking at doing shit like that? Because it's not just turn-based RPGs now. They did Adventures of Elliot. It's full on fucking like Zelda-like. You can do whatever you want with that aesthetic. It's just you have to have a team that has a little bit of creativity and artistic vision. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying like no, I am saying this. Somebody should fucking give Matsumoto a budget to do an HD 2D Fire Pro. Like completely redo the sprites, make them not as rough looking. Like basically the world exclusive parts, a game completely like that if we're not going to commit to 3D models. And really bump up the fucking like poly count and everything of the rest of like the environment around them.
I mean, I would love it.
It would probably not cost a shit ton more than World to develop. There's inflation, obviously, but like, Mike Strauss said this at some point last year, and I think he's right. A Fire Pro game that had the AEW, New Japan, and CMLL license, and I'll throw Stardom in there too because they did the deal with Stardom for World.
Yeah.
A game with those 4 licenses would do crazy fucking numbers.
You just imagine it's called like Forbidden Door, but actually most of the rosters just AEW, and you've got like 1 or 2 wrestlers from other promotions.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think
they need to fucking end that pay-per-view.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Like it was, and I'm not just saying this because I went to the first one. It's a cool concept on paper, but you're trying to do an interpromotional pay-per-view between Dominion, which is like their second biggest actual event of the year, in the fucking G1.
And
While
also,
they're also trying to run angles and shit.
And also, like, AEW or Tony Khan doesn't seem that interested in the New Japan roster. I mean, he's got everyone he wanted except for like Zack Sabre, so
Yeah,
like,
there's that too.
What's the point?
Like literally everybody in the IWGP Title 4-way, which it was 2 New Japan, 2 AEW guys, but like they signed Jay White and they signed fucking they signed Ospreay. Like if you're not gonna fucking present New Japan as an equal and you're just gonna book a bunch of like silly fuck off matches, there's really no reason to do it.
I think like the whole special feeling of that pay-per-view is gone, and now it just feels like a distraction on the road to All In.
Yeah, and it also feels like, well, nothing significant's going to happen with the New Japan guys because the G1's in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Like, that
So,
pay-per-view
like,
as a whole is, like, almost carried by Tekla for the Stardom storyline. She was on the, she appeared on the Stardom show, yesterday.
I saw the clip on Instagram.
Yeah, so that's, like, the only feud, really, that's gone into this pay-per-view.
Yeah, and there's, like, the Umino Death Rider stuff, which you couldn't pay me to fucking care.
They added,
honestly.
what's the tag match they added? It's Mystico and Dorada.
Templaria? But no, yeah, Dorada, not Templaria. Mystico and Dorada versus Shingo and Teton versus the Young Bucks.
And that's just like, here's another match. Like, there was no CMLL people, and now it's like, here's Mystico, here's Dorada, and it's like, oh, okay. And I guess they're doing like a women's tag match, Megan Bayne and oh god, I forget her name.
Lena
Her partner.
Cross.
Yeah, against Thunder Rosa and a mystery partner from CMLL. I don't know. I feel like that would have been a really good spot to put
Oh
in.
god, it's going to be Tessa Blanchard, isn't it?
I saw somebody saying that. God, I hope not. I think that would be a really good spot for Hanako and Maika, because I mean, I think they're good opponents for them, and Megan Bayne's got like a lot of history of Maika and Hanako, so that would have made a lot of sense. But God, if it's Tessa, the world's gonna explode.
It just doesn't feel like they give that much of a fuck about Forbidden Door now. 2023 was the peak of that show, honestly, because you got the Okada Danielson dream match and you got the Nonce Defender versus Kenny, like a Tokyo Dome rematch.
Like I said, it's just a distraction now. That's all it is. It's like, okay, let's get this over with.
Yeah, I didn't like last year's show. I didn't really like the 2024 show either.
Yeah, I think it just seems silly too. Like officially on the poster, they've got AEW, New Japan, CMLL, and Stardom, and it feels just like disingenuous to have those other promotions listed when you've got like one match. It's Starlight Kid is on the show, but that's okay. That's one person who, I mean, if he could, he would be booking anyway. It's like if she was available, she'd probably show up on a Dynamite at some point. So it's silly.
Yeah, I heard about the Osprey promo, and then I saw the clip, and I'm just gonna say something really quick. The people that are defending that, like, well, Alex Windsor probably had no problem with it. First off, I don't give a fuck what that woman thinks about anything. Will Ospreay making reference to smashing his dead best friend's girl, who he started dating apparently right after his friend died, as I seem to remember hearing. Him saying that is as gross as when MJF does it. And people are convinced like Max is like a horrible person, and he may very well be. But setting that aside, those comments were made by somebody who bullied a rape victim and blackballed her, and then right before his big New Japan push started, had one of his friends thrown under the bus. And I'm pretty sure it was one of his friends that he told people, if you book me, you have to book him. So what accountability was there? It's a guy who fucking runs a promotion with a goddamn nonce. He's still friends with the Umbrella nonce. He claims to be illiterate, but has written several like F4W board posts on Twitter about fucking Yoda Tsuji. So clearly the sentence structure is not something that's lost on him.
I don't think he knows what illiterate means, though, to be fair.
I don't think he knows what a lot of fucking words mean, like accountability or decency. And like, I see people trying to make fucking excuses for him, and it's like, no, if this was fucking anybody else, if it were anyone else, they would pack him the fuck up. But it's the AEW audience, and they're gonna fucking go to war for their guys no matter fucking what. If Will Ospreay with that track record was in WWE, people would be calling for his fucking head. Hangman Page, same thing. And at some point, you kind of have to either just say, like, yeah, my values aren't really what I present them to be, and I don't care that this guy's a massive fucking piece of shit. And that's fine. I think a lot more people need to fucking just admit that the wrestlers they like are awful fucking people. Or you have to kind of just go, no, I actually have a real problem with this, and I'm not going to support the product until this person's no longer pushed. Which, in the case of Ospreay, that's never going to happen. They're convinced he's the greatest of all time. And, like, it's frustrating. Because you saw it with the Hangman and Marty Scurll thing. The people on Blue Sky trying to, like, headcanon, like, why Hangman was there with him. They're fucking buddies. Like, you have like John Pollock, who will defend, like he defended Hangman to the ends of the earth. That guy has kids.
Yeah.
After a certain point, it just depends what promotion you're in for these fucking people. And it's not like, well, he gave a thoughtful answer and his insight as to why he took the picture. No, he took the picture because they're fucking friends. His reasoning was bullshit. And people are just willing to sweep that under the rug because, haha, Cowboy Man pretends to be a good guy on TV. Fuck you. Will Ospreay doesn't even pretend to be a good guy on TV. He's just a complete piece of fucking shit that somehow has skirted any sort of accountability.
Can I read some posts about this that I thought were really dumb?
Yeah, can I just say real quick? I saw the Justin Wang tweet about this, like the little like roller coaster from SpongeBob thing. That guy always gave me some really gross vibes. I'm just glad he confirmed he was a total fucking loser. Go on.
So this one says, I don't think people understand if Alex has an issue with what her husband said. That's between them, not the whole ass internet. We don't get to say it was poor taste or not, even though he said it on, worldwide television. We don't get to say nothing. We don't know them. This is why wrestlers will not talk to us. Be better.
Okay, here's the thing. We do know them because Will Ospreay, he bullied Sadie Gibbs for leaving a fucking tour of Japan early because her grandpa died. He has had a decade plus his reaction to Vader. The whole fucking thing, getting really mad that Vader didn't want to lose a fucking fake fight to him. This guy has a decade-long track record at minimum of being a complete piece of fucking shit. He has never once shown any sort of contrition or remorse for his fucking actions. He's, I'm autistic, bro. I can't read, bro. Like, any of that is a fucking shield from accountability. I'm on the spectrum. If I do something wrong, do you know what I do? I say, yeah, I did something wrong. I'm sorry. I will be better. Do you know why? Because I'm a fucking grown-up. I've never dodged accountability my entire life. If you find that I've done something fucked up, I will admit to it. That's the whole point, is to fucking learn and get better as you get older. This motherfucker doesn't because people have insulated him from any fucking accountability. Fuck him.
I just like the part in that post where it said, this is why wrestlers won't talk to us, as if like I'm supposed to care.
I'm real upset that Will Ospreay won't talk to me. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, wrestlers won't talk to me. What am I going to do? I like this one too. Do you remember a little while ago on Discord, I sent you a message. It was someone that was like praising like Callum Newman to high heaven. And I was like, oh my God, like, look at this shit.
Yeah, this guy sucks.
This is the same account who responded to me. They said, show me any proof of this accusation. Oh, wait, you can't because it came out that it never actually happened. This is regards to Paul Robinson, Will Ospreay's best friend. And the girl who accused him admitted she never even met him. You would know this if you actually bothered to do any kind of deep research before accusing. As far as I know, that's not true. She never said she didn't meet him. She never just denied the story was...
Yeah, that's all bullshit.
So I said, okay, then, show me where she said that. That was 15 hours ago. 10 hours ago, I said, I'm still waiting for where she said this. You've done the deep research, and I still have no response. So, like, if you're gonna just straight up lie, I don't even know how could you even do that. You're lying about saying that she said it didn't actually happen. She never even met him, and you've done deep research, but you can't back it up. Like, why even bother? Like, what are you doing?
And like, one of my friends was like, you really don't need to make fun of like the Brit rest scene the way they do. Let me be perfectly clear. I don't have a problem with people from England in general. I literally do a podcast with them.
Yeah.
I have a problem with everybody from the fucking Brit rest scene that openly, and by the way, if you try to hit me with, well, 16's the age of consent in England, why is a grown adult dating like near the fucking age of consent line? Doesn't that automatically mean like that guy's a little bit of a fucking creep?
That girl was also drunk.
Yeah, like, at what point do we not just take a look at literally every one of the guys in that scene, including Zack Sabre Jr., who hasn't used social media really since Speaking Out happened, and I fucking wonder why. At what point do we take a look at that entire scene and just go, yeah, we need to take back everything we gave these fuckers? If people really cared about these issues, maybe it's time we start taking some shit back from these fuckers. Maybe Will Ospreay doesn't deserve to be a top guy on national television. Maybe he should have to go back to working with his buddy Robin. Maybe like actual accountability needs to come for the fucking professional wrestling business.
We might need to get rid of the whole European scene. Honestly, there was a, I think it's called Ring of Europe.
Yeah, I heard there was some shit that went down. I don't know the details.
So there was one wrestler who wasn't able to make the show. I think the story was that maybe she's injured, and what they did is they made a post on Instagram using her real name, so essentially doxing her on their Instagram. And then
That's nice.
another wrestler said she when she got to the building, she was told that there was photoshopped nude images of her being shown by the promoter, and they said it was going to be used in like a storyline or something. She had no idea what was going on. So,
and presumably also, since she had no knowledge, did not consent.
Right, exactly. And they cancelled the show because the locker room wasn't comfortable working.
Wait a minute. So like, there are people in the European independent scene that kind of have a fucking clue about decency?
I guess so.
Where are these people in the pro wrest scene, man?
In Germany, I think.
Go back, by the way, and look at some of those mid to late 2010s Rev Pro shows where you see like fucking David Starr and a bunch of the other fucking speaking outcasts
right
on the cards. Like, these are people that were openly creeps. We saw it with the Tremonts recently. Like, people that waited for years to be like, yeah, they covered up sexual assault. They bullied sexual assault victims by saying, if Danny Havoc and Marcus Crane were still alive, they'd run you out of the business. Shit like that. Pro wrestling needs to be torched. It needs to be burned to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Because we can't keep letting these fuckers survive. Like, and I know that nobody in a different era of wrestling, a much different era of wrestling, nonsense would probably get the shit beaten out of them, granted by other nonsense, but like, there needs to be some sort of fucking policing. And I'm tired of the boys will be boys shit. And I'm tired of the fucking shit that Dave Meltzer said when Hangman took the picture with Skrull. Like, well, if you're mad at Hangman, then you've got to be mad at all these other guys. Yeah, you know what, Dave? I can be mad at a lot of the guys from the 70s, the 80s that were nonsense. A lot of them are also fucking dead, so that anger doesn't exactly seem well placed. I can acknowledge they were fucking creeps, but I'm a lot angrier about guys who are active now, who should fucking know better now, that are just, they don't care. No, Marty was always really nice to me. Yeah, you're also a fucking high school teacher, buddy. What does that say about your values? What does it say about their values that they're willing to tolerate Osprey? Or Gabe Kidd? Or even Jericho, if those stories are to be believed. Like, where does it fucking end? Who's going to have to be the first one to say, I'm willing to sacrifice everything to call this shit out?
Oh, that person doesn't exist and probably won't exist.
No, because wrestling's a fucking community of spineless fucking fake tough guys.
I mean,
and a lot of them also like to have sex with teenagers.
It's rotten to the core. I mean, it's, as you said, there's been people in the past. Look at the top people. Look at Vince. It's, I don't think there's any cleansing of it, because you can't clean that deep.
You can't be an AEW fan that bangs on WWE for being the sex fest company without acknowledging you got a bunch of them in AEW too.
Yeah, I think too. It's like another thing. I understand
it's not apples to apples because WWE's got like the decades-long track record. AEW hasn't been around for 10 years, but like,
right.
We knew about Marty Scurll 10 years ago. A lot of us did.
I heard about it.
It was crazy.
I was in New Orleans and I didn't know anything about it, and people were openly talking about it that weekend.
And that was 2018?
I think so, yeah.
I knew about it when AJ wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. That was January 2016, right before he shows up in the Royal Rumble. Ospreay and Scurll had a match that a lot of people really liked, and I found out in the reply to a tweet of mine where I was like, wow, that was a really good match. Somebody fucking said, follow me. I have to tell you something about Marty Scurll. And they DM'd me the whole fucking story. And this was like 2016.
Jesus.
It's been an open secret for a really long time. And there's no way. He teamed with Zack Sabre Jr. for years. You don't think Zack knew? He bragged about it openly to like other wrestlers for years. Like, it's gross. And then like you have the Tommy Dreamer thing that came out last night, and fucking Mickey James jumps right to the fucking defense. Like, you hang out with Marty
being an idiot.
Yeah, she's bad as hell, but also just a fucking moron.
She said other stuff in the past that was like really fucking stupid. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, that's. I try not to be surprised, but like,
Was she the one that posted, like, isn't it interesting that conservative states get the bad weather or something like that? Was it someone else? I
Yeah,
can't remember.
it was something to that effect. Yeah. Or like, no, there was like outages the day of like an election or some shit, maybe, and it was like, oh, isn't it crazy how the ballot boxes all went down today, or some stupid shit. The weather thing was somebody in NXT that was like, oh, look up cloud seeding or whatever the
I
fuck.
think that was like Danny Palmer, who's married to one of the. I think she's married to one of the Public Enemy. Hank and Tank.
Oh, when you said Public Enemy, I was going to be like, buddy, I got some unfortunate news. Those guys are dead.
They wear like the exact same gear. I'm telling you, they did. I don't know if they still do. But
I have no clue who those guys are.
I didn't really know them. I've seen them a few times, and I was like, that's why are they dressed like Public Enemy?
They're probably not nearly as good as Public Enemy.
No. Yeah, there's a lot of goddamn weird people in wrestling. There's always going to be. It's always going to be there. But you call it out when you see it, because it deserves to be called out, and some of these people deserve to be exposed for who they are. And also this idea that you have to go to the ends of the earth to defend a wrestler because you like their matches is something I don't understand at all. I mean, none of these people know Osprey, but like they're all over defending him because they like watching him. You know, it's like you can like Ric Flair while also acknowledging that Ric Flair is a piece of shit. You can like his matches. I mean, a lot of people
both like Keiji Muto.
Yeah, and his best friend's Hiroshi Hase. Like, come on.
And Hase himself is like an all-time great worker, but yeah, he's fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. That's wrestling. There's so many people. But yeah, I saw the rehabilitation tour started with Fightful posting a video of him hugging an autistic fan. It's like, oh yeah, I see what you're doing. You know, it's very gross. Yeah.
And like I thought he was the guy last year over Hangman, and given how badly they booked Hangman, I still think they probably should have given. Maybe if they gave Ospreay the title reign, he could have fucked his neck up worse, had to retire. That would have been cool. But like, I don't ever need to see him again. And you know, All In's drawing like shit right now, and I've seen people coming up with 1 million. Oh, they'll have 40,000 by the day of the show. They have 26,000 out right now. The show's in 2 months. Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay is not going to move 14,000 tickets. Maybe it will. Maybe. I'd like for it to because I like Kenny, even though Kenny's friends with fucking Marty Scurll.
It's like everyone you look at, it's like, oh, this person is friends with this person, or this person said this shit. You know.
Well, a lot of those wrestlers in Florida are cool with chasing rants because he gets them weed for cheap. This is why most of my favorite wrestlers are dead.
I mean, again, this is the business at its core. I mean, it's always been a scummy business.
It's from the fucking carnivals.
But we've got to put an end to people thinking it's not or acting like it's not. You know, there's been strides. I mean, there's been things that have happened for the better, but you're never going to get rid of all of it. You know, it's always going to be there.
I think I think I proposed this last week. There needs to be a 75-year moratorium on British people in wrestling. I think that would go a long way to cleaning things up. Everybody currently active, everybody training, everybody that's not even born yet, for at least the next 75 years, they can't be involved in pro wrestling.
People are trying to clean a junkyard. You know, it's no matter how hard you try, there's always going to be bits left. It's not going to work.
Yeah, but I'm so tired of seeing people coddling. Well, Ospreay can't read. Bullshit. There's people tried to do the same thing with Abdullah the Butcher. There is such a thing as functional literacy where you might not be able to properly read or write in like the classical sense, but you learn enough to fucking get by.
Yeah.
One of my cousins, the exact same thing. He can't type a coherent fucking sentence. He can't really read, but he can speak perfectly fine. You wouldn't know. And
what's
sometimes
that going to do for anything anyway?
Yeah, well, because you can't be mean to him because he's illiterate. Actually, I think making it to fucking 33 years old and proudly saying somebody had to read your fucking presumably multi-million-dollar contract to you I would be fucking ashamed. You would not be able to pull that information out of me with a shotgun. But again, shame. He doesn't understand the concept. Somebody should teach it to him.
You can't be mean to him because he can't read.
Yeah, you can't be mean to him because he says he's on the autism spectrum too. Which, okay, then don't be mean to me. Or does that only apply to wrestlers that drop themselves on their fucking heads for your entertainment?
Like, I saw too that like he was at a pride parade, and that's cool, but like, you know, he can still be a shitty person.
Yeah, CM Punk attending the No Kings protest right after, like, be like, oh, you're on Lord Elon Musk's Twitter. It doesn't do anything. It's fucking performative. Punk still went to Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm. He still works for WWE.
Yeah. Although apparently, if rumors are to be believed, not much longer.
Oh, I don't know. I think he'll go back to kissing ass soon enough.
Probably.
I mean, where else is he going to go?
He's going to go say, I'm really fucking sorry to Matt Jackson. Hangman, I didn't really mean that. I'm sorry. You're a smart guy. You're the smartest guy I know. Some shit like that, probably.
I think he's.
I have to say.
I think whatever's happening with him, WWE will be worked out soon enough.
I need him to go back to AEW just because I want to see the segment with him and Max, because you know it would happen.
I don't know if anyone would want him in AEW. Like, even the fans, I feel like, and some of them obviously are going to go crazy over it, but like, I think him going back to AEW would be like really tiresome, and people would just be like, "Oh, really?"
Oh no, it needs to happen literally just for Max going, "Hey, remember when you told me about the buy two get one free special, bud?
Yeah.
What was that like?" Because the last time I checked, Phil, you got yourself fired. I could literally write the fucking thing. Like, it's so obvious what it would be, and it would be fucking hilarious.
He's gonna go to
Did you get
TNA
fired over there, bud? Oh yeah. And TNA, who are spending basically the entirety of their AMC money on debts and the Hardys, allegedly.
And Ali, the bunny.
Yeah, but that's like a pay per appearance deal, allegedly.
Oh, is
and
it?
I saw a tweet where like Top Dollar was shitting on like Steve Macklin, and like two things: one, Steve Macklin's a better wrestler than you, and two, Steve Macklin would probably fuck up Top.
I saw him like.
Stop acting like a tough guy on Twitter and a fucking TNA soldier, buddy. It's the only place that's ever gonna book you again. I get it. But fuck him.
I saw Top Dollar doing like he did like a silly ladder bump, and I was gonna go, man, Stokely Hathaway is crazy, because all they could see was like his bald head. But yeah, the whole TNA thing is like, oh, people going from they're the number 2 promotion to them not being able to afford to pay people is pretty funny.
I mean, I was listening to the first 2 parts of Destination Cancellation on the Between the Sheets Patreon, and them not being able to pay talent, that's a like 13, 14 year issue.
Wouldn't it be funny if they actually go out of business doing the Dark Side of the Ring episodes?
Oh God, yeah.
That would just be like amazing timing.
Remember when they had to comp a bunch of people into Slammiversary on Long Island to make it look like they had a huge crowd, and Jericho was like, "Oh, that they looked like the number 2 promotion, and AEW was running TV at the arena." Like, fucking hell, man.
I see. People are saying like not TNA, but the number 3 promotion is now MLW. And every time I see the banner, and it's like Killer Cross is champion, Scarlett,
Matt Riddle,
and God, who else? There's one more person I'm trying to think of.
Oh, Cruel.
No, it was like them and like Shotzi and God, there was definitely someone else. And I was like, oh, how can this person be on a roster? Oh, it was Austin Aries. And I'm like, my brain breaks every time I see these people on MLW, because it's like, how does this roster exist? You know, it's like, this is like an all-time bad roster. It's like, I can't put it together. You know, it's like, I'd rather watch Heroes of Wrestling than sit through these MLW shows. Like, I don't want to watch any of these people.
It's crazy when you look back at like 2019 and MLW had like Max Born and Batu and Loki was doing really good work that year, despite being a fucking weirdo head case. They had the Von Erichs. They had like a really promising fucking roster.
Yeah.
And then, the pandemic happened. And they
They
lost a bunch of their guys to AEW.
They had Kamatani and Rena on the TV tapings, which I guess will probably air in December, the way MLW does their TV. But they had them working like Lady Frost and Shotzi, and I think they did a 6-woman tag, and Scarlett was in there, and I was like, oh geez, like I don't understand this relationship. Like, cool, it gets some work and maybe some exposure, but how many of those people are gonna like subscribe to Stardom World after this? Is it worth it? Having them work, I mean, Lady Frost is alright, but I think Shotzi at least seems like a nice person, but I don't think this is the women's roster to work with.
No. MLW is just, I don't get. I get how they're still alive because they got the jackpot lawsuit settlement, but fucking hell. So I guess we should move on to like action figure news or whatever.
What is there?
That's an excellent question.
Well, we've
I
had some
know that
like, we've had like a bunch of Comic-Con previews and shit. Not from like wrestling figures, but like other brands, like those.
Well, no, we did.
Oh, did we? Okay.
The Girls Just Want to Have Fun exclusive. They're
Right,
finally
right,
after. I feel like we talked about Cyndi Lauper being under a Legends deal years ago, and they're finally doing the Elite 3-pack of her, Piper, and Lou Albano, which is cool. I don't need it.
Yeah, I'm happy for her because it's well overdue. Like, I think WWE's a scummy company to work with, of course, and I doubt they have the same values. But like, from the perspective of like someone who's deserves to be in a Hall of Fame spot and deserves to have some merchandise from the company, I think it's cool. I wonder if they'll end up putting it in any of the games. That would be funny.
Whose moveset is she gonna fucking have?
She would probably just be a manager.
Probably. Yeah, that'd be lame.
Yeah.
I saw the majors are doing a Texas Tornado like red attire Kerry Von Erich big rubber guy. That's cool. I don't care. I don't want my money potentially going to Rick Michaels.
You should be able to remove his foot.
Well, the next elite figure of him.
How can that not be a feature? I mean,
off.
I think it should be.
I'm looking at the major pod feed and I'm not seeing. So I know that the Target wave with Crush and Bull Nakano and Blue Attire Triple H went up. That's a cool series. I didn't pre-order any of them. I'm hoping that there's a Target in my, general area by the time those are actually in stores, but I don't.
I'd like to get that bull. I don't know if it go on like Amazon.ca or Walmart here. Probably Walmart. They've got that E-Honda Yokozuna on their website now, and I keep looking at like that. Like, oh, I want to get that. I think it's really cool.
It's a cool figure. I think they missed the opportunity to do the towel pattern on like the tights instead of the Malachi.
I love the idea of it though.
Yeah, it's cool. Mitch showed off some updated samples of Raven and the Quebecers, the Regium figures. It looks like the jacket's going to be like an Ultimate Edition jacket because the arms are articulated now.
Oh, okay. I mean, to be fair, he does seem to really want to get Raven right, or at least right for him, I suppose.
There's a picture of like the Pierre and Jacques figures next to each other, like the head sculpts, and I still think they look like the same fucking guy.
Yeah,
just a different haircut. Like, how do you? The sculptor he's got is not bad. I've seen other stuff he's done. He's done stuff, I think, for like NECA. But at what point do we go, buddy? the bodies are going to be the same because we're trying to, cut costs, but like this shit actually has to look a little fucking different.
Did we ever talk about the casket he's selling for like $90?
I think we did last time, and I still think that's fucking insane.
It's, I mean, you could like 3D print or even make it something similar yourself for a lot less money.
Oh, he showed off a painted render of Regium Savio Vega. I don't remember if we talked about that, but I just saw it.
I don't think so.
I like Savio.
I like TNT.
The Quang would be my actual pick, honestly. But
Yeah.
I don't care about this shit.
Nah. I think Mitch has also lost a lot of standing in the community. At least seems like the wrestling figs people due to his like overpricing and limited stock, and all of a sudden he's got them back in and stuff. It seems like people are quite down on him these days.
Yeah, and it's really funny because he was taking pot shots at Zombie for doing that exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Mitch. He's a doofus. I saw that he put up Aldo Montoya, Just Incredible, and Kim Chi. And Kim Chi's got the mask for Kamala.
That's neat, I guess. This cost like $100.
Probably.
Oh,
pre-order pricing. He has pre-order pricing, which I get the KWK does, but when the pre-order pricing ends, the shit doesn't go up like $10, $15. It goes up like $5.
Yeah.
Speaking of KWK, a couple of days ago there were updates on Kabuki and Tenyu and Shelton Benjamin. I think that's Mario Mancini. The Tenyu without the hair painted, so it's kind of like skin tone. This looks like one of my mom's friends who's no longer with us. And I remember when I figured out that she kind of looked like Tenyu. She was German, by the way. When I figured out she looked like Tenyu, I just called her Tenyu for like years.
My God.
Oh, another revelation I had from my aunt's funeral. My only living aunt, like I made eye contact with her at one point, and it dawned on me she looks like Ted DiBiase. Like I heard the Ted theme in my head, and I was like, that just ruined one of my favorite wrestlers. Thanks. I don't know what it is. All of my grandma's kids look so fucking different from one another. Like you'd never believe they were related. Like, but yeah, one of my aunts looks like Ted DiBiase, kind of. It's fucked up.
It's funny how like me and my cousin look exactly alike. Like I posted a picture of him one time, and I had people fooled that it was me because yeah, it's one time I was working. There was a guy in the store, and I guess he had dropped something, and one of my coworkers was like said my name and was like, "Watch what you're doing" or something. Realized it wasn't me, but this I went out there and I saw this guy, and yeah, he looked exactly like me too, and I was like, "That's weird." Just some guy in the same city, and I saw him again later, and I was like, "Oh." It's like when Bart Simpson and that kid that roller skated, but I had that one of those reactions, like, what is going on?
I think the KWK Shelton Benjamin looks really good. I'm glad I actually bit the bullet and pre-ordered that one.
I think
the Kabuki looks cool. Oh, go on.
Yeah, the Tenru head I think looks really good.
Yeah, and we've seen
Mom's friend.
Yeah, I mean KOC too. Like, give Tenyu blonde hair in that game, and it's like, God, that's crazy. It's very funny when you get deep in the weeds and you start looking at people, and it's like, yeah, that person kind of looks like somebody I've seen on TV. The Kabuki picture, I think, didn't get posted on Instagram because there's two of the exact same slide of Shelton. Well, no, it's not the exact same slide. It's a slightly different picture. But I used fucking X cancel to look at the KWK page, and the Kabuki picture's on there. There's a lot of parts reusage from like Pat Tanaka, but Kabuki looks really good. There's a picture of like the painted heads, and there's a picture of like the Tenyu body, and I get using the clothesline body for him, especially since the whole idea is like he can throw the chop.
Yeah,
I'm super happy I pre-ordered those. That to me, and we've talked about it a bunch. To me, the strength of that line is going to be him being able to license Japanese talent. Speaking of, I got Bull Nakano and Dory Funk Jr. recently.
Oh, okay.
I took Dory out of the box, which is probably not the smartest move because he's the more limited of the two. But like just getting a feel for them in hands, they feel a lot like the Zombie Sailor figures, and that's a compliment. It's like a huge compliment, actually. The head sculpt looked great in person. As I walk by the TV, hopefully you don't hear Channel 2 going.
Is that NBC?
It is NBC, yeah.
Nice.
But like the printing on the belt looks nice. There's a little bit of paint on like the actual like belt loop, but like if you pose him facing forward, you're never gonna see it. The chest hair looks good for this style of figure. Head sculpt is great. Hair's maybe a little blonder than Dory actually had it. But one thing I like about this figure, and I said it to the guy that sculpted it, is the way he's posed. You can kind of sort of have Dory throw the like the short lateral European uppercuts that he would do.
Right. Yeah.
And I always like when you see something like that in these figures. It's not just we kind of sort of did the Savage #1 pose. Like there's a little bit of, and like his fist is turned in the right way to do it. So I think that was probably intentional. If I had to guess, I'm curious to see Aja Kong. I think we're probably going to see that during Comic Con.
Oh yes, yeah. When I see the
Dory,
though,
like August.
I think so. When I see that Dory though, I just like wish there was a Terry to go with it.
Dude, I said the same thing to the sculptor. I was like, I hate that Terry's locked up on a Legend Steel.
Yeah.
Because oh god dang it, I'd love to have a Terry in this style. I would buy like any Terry that KWK would do, honestly.
Yeah, I just think that a retirement Terry would be fun with the red tights too.
Like the junk shop one.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah. How's the bull? Because I have the old Cella, which was quite disappointing.
I actually specifically bought the one that was in the same attire as that. And my one little like complaint is the design that's like right in the middle of her shirt. It's not perfectly centered. And it kind of looks like it should be just based on the picture on the carding. But like head sculpt is great. I don't know where the Brian Myers complaint of like, well, there's paint all over the place on this figure. I don't know where that comes from. All of this stuff looks like it was placed right about where it should be. The one off-centered thing aside, like this is a great fucking figure. And looks much more like, I'd recommend it. It looks much more like what my brain thinks Hasbro Bull Nakano would have looked like than that shitty like Cella that's basically like a 3-inch tall figure.
Yeah, I regret getting that. I mean, at the time, it was also like there's no Bull, obviously no figures, no merch anyway, so felt like a cool thing to buy at the time, but now she's like everywhere, so
I'm gonna have to get the Elite of her for sure.
Yeah, I really want it as well.
Oh, I thought J&J got rid of all the KWK figures on the site. I was like, why is it just Kevin Kelly and the Fantastics?
Ugh.
But that's just the pre-order page. It's wild to look back at those Cella figures because they were, and I'll use the term, I don't care. They were basically just like wrestling figure snuff. They were not good. There were people trying to convince themselves they were better than the zombie figures because they had like a hate on for zombie, which I get. But like brother, those figures were doo-doo. Like caps lock doo-doo.
The Dynamite compared to the Bulldogs 2-pack Dynamite is like, holy shit. Quite a difference.
It's such a stark difference. And like you see the old Hayabusa that they did compared to either of the KWK ones. Like, come on. It's fucking night and day.
How far do you think he's gonna go for these Japanese figures? Do you think he'll get more like Joshi's? Because like you've got Aja Kong, you've got Bull Nakano. I think like what would you say the next one if he could have another one out there? It'd be like Akira Hokuto, right?
That would be my pick. Like it would be Hokuto easily. Toyota would be cool.
Yeah, I think if you're doing like
But
FMW, like I guess you're just doing Hayabusa, but like Megumi Kudo would be a really cool one to do.
I mentioned this to you. I talked with him about like getting Kobashi signed.
Yeah, right.
And he was like, I don't know how much of a market there is for the four pillars beyond just Misawa and Kobashi. And he told me like if he did Kobashi, he'd do like limited 500 for like bearded Kobashi, orange trunks, and he would do like one of 200 for GHC champion Kobashi.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I get it. And like in my brain, like Kobashi would sell super well because he's fucking Kenta Kobashi.
Right.
But like, it's a niche figure form factor that appeals to a niche collector base. And then you're carving out like an even deeper niche within that. Like at least Hayabusa, it's like, well, he was on the dark side of the ring. Tenyu and Kabuki, they were on the 94 Royal Rumble. Bull Nakano had a WWF run.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you would probably sell 500 of Misawa and Kobashi pretty easily. Kawada and Taue, you'd sell more of Kawada than Taue, but like, if you got to do Taue as like a limited 100, fuck it. I'll be one of the 100. And
Yeah, I mean,
I would like to see more Japanese talent signed because how many of them have never gotten figures and how many of them haven't gotten figures in 20 years?
yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like the Masato Tanaka zombie, that's his first figure ever, right? I don't think he had
Yep.
a character products, which is kind of crazy to think about because you think, there would have been a chance, like even after FMW, like
The only 0-1 figures, I think, were the Tanaka and not Tanaka, though, Otani and Hashimoto 2-pack.
right. So there was a slight chance that he could have got in there, and he didn't. So he never had one at all, which is kind of crazy to think about. So yeah, and
And I
obviously
think
Saz. Yeah,
with
go ahead.
him, we think just because he was on national TV here, like we
Right.
have the perception of him being a bigger star than maybe he actually is. But
Right.
it's still
True.
like they could have made it. Like you're gonna tell me Tanaka would have sold worse than fucking Tatsuhito Takaiwa? Come on now.
Right. Yeah.
Well, maybe he would have. New Japan Takaiwa, FMW Tanaka. It's different levels of like public awareness, but like it's insane. Maybe Tanaka has a mini big head. I believe that because it feels like everybody had one, but do you really count that?
Nah. He did, to be honest. I don't think he's had anything.
Yeah, so like I want more Japanese wrestlers getting figures. Like Jumbo Saruta, if that deal
Yeah.
could be done,
Well, his son's
fuck.
his son's out there.
Just show Yuji a bunch of pictures of blonde white women. He'll sign whatever you want, I'm sure. Like when Phil
True.
Senior Games like, yeah, we approached Yuji and he didn't seem interested. My first response was, did you send him a picture of a white woman first? And they were like, no. And I'm like, rookie mistake. He was a nice guy. He didn't realize until about 15 years ago that Jumbo had a following in the US.
Interesting.
It was like Ditch and one of my friends and like me and a few other people that like added him on Facebook. Like, your dad's fucking greatest of all time, bro. And he had never seen the Observer obituary for Jumbo. And I was like, do you want me to fucking send it to you? Like, I can copy and paste that shit right now. And he was like, yes, if you could please do that, I would appreciate it. Like, he didn't realize, and it goes back to the Kobashi thing. He comes over to wrestle Samoa Joe and thinks he's gonna have to work like fucking Evil Foreigner, which I wish he did. Imagine how much fucking funnier that match would be.
And when you talk about like figure sales and stuff, I feel like just based on that Joe match alone, like even if you don't consider like everything else, like a lot of people know him from that match specifically.
And the
You know,
GHC champion version's the same attire.
right? Exactly.
So like I think there's an argument you could do two 500s for Kobashi and let people choose their own adventure. You might be left with a little bit of dead stock, but once the low stock alerts start hitting and it's like this is your last chance to get Kobashi, I think the people that would be on the fence would be like, oh shit, I gotta get that's Kobashi, I gotta get them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I definitely get them. I jumped on, Hayabusa and Sasuke and Tenru and Kabuki the first chance I could get. So I'd be down. That's for sure. But I'm a weirdo.
I
So
did too. Well, we're also in a very small group of Western Japanese wrestling fans that also like we're in such a specific bucket Western fans of Japanese wrestling who have an affinity for Hasbro style figures. Like, do you realize how few of us there probably actually are?
Yeah, I think too, like when you're doing somebody like you sort of put it on yourself based on who you've already signed, right? Like, I mean, as I said, if you're gonna do Dory Funk Jr., then Terry Funk from the same era should be there. Like, now I want the Sheik, you know. Now I want the Destroyer. Now I want to go down this whole hole of old Japan stuff, right? I want Baba. You know, I think when you release some of these names, like naturally people are going to be like, "Well, can I have this person? Can I have that person?" So, you know, you had to expect it,
Yeah, and like I'm not saying he's got to like maximize the investment or whatever into like O-ring figures because they're
right?
going to be a little bit smaller than the old Carajos, but I'm in the even smaller group of Western fans that love those figures, and he could pretty much price a 4 pillars like set of O-ring figures however the fuck he wanted. I'd buy them.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I want to see Japanese wrestling history celebrated in a way that I have easy access to.
yeah. And there's so much that can be done. Like, I mean, you just mentioned the O ring and the retros and like
He
the.
apparently has a third line coming.
I
I
wonder
don't
what that
know why.
is.
He didn't imply it, but he said something about like he had IP that he thought made sense for a line that somebody else is doing. And we know he doesn't kind of get along with the majors.
Hmm.
And I've heard he kind of sort of doesn't get along with Jack from Figure Collections. So like it could be BCA style, it could be LJN style. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, it'll be
It could be
interesting to
Galoob
see.
style.
I don't know if any of those appeal to me. I mean, like BCA. Don't get me wrong, very cool when I was a kid, but I don't know if it's something I'd want to collect as an adult. And LGNs are just too goddamn big. Yeah, no, I've obviously got some of the WWE ones that are sitting in my storage locker right now. And Galoob was something I was like, oh, I wish they'd brought those, but I mean they're just mini statues really. So to see the ones that have come back, like the Diamond Stud and stuff, and I think they were kind of overpriced, Diamond Stud and PNUs.
For
I'm
what
just
they
like,
are, absolutely.
yeah. I mean, to fill in the blanks, I think it'd be nice. Like Veda is just like that makes all the sense in the world. But if you're talking about like anything other than that, I just don't think I'd find it much appealing.
I don't care about Joey Janela and Danhausen getting them.
Exactly.
Oh, speaking of, because we talked about this a little bit, I saw a lot of like concern about customs stuff changing.
Right.
And I saw that. So, like, the posts you sent me at that time, they were like 4 days old. I had been researching that for a few days, near as I can figure. And this is like, I did a deep dive on this and I could be wrong. What's happening is they're changing the filing to digital now. So, like, if you buy something from, say, Japan, because that was the area everybody was concerned about, right?
Hmm.
Um, the people shipping you the thing have to fill out the paperwork digitally. And apparently, if they do it digitally, you wipe your hands of it, you get straight through. The problem is some of these other services, and this has been known for months apparently, some of the proxy services and eBay sellers are just doing the Vegas job of filling the shit out on paper, which gets it flagged when it comes to customs. And they're classifying action figures as dolls, which fucks over the person buying the item because if it says doll, well, there's certain safety regulations apparently for toys. So they get fucking opened and they get tested. So the people sending these things are fucking the people that are buying their products over. And I guess DHL has been really, really sloppy about it. And this is
Yeah.
all stuff that wasn't happening in a widespread nature. Like I had heard for years of stuff getting filed incorrectly and getting seized and fucking destroyed. I always worried for years about that happening to things I'd bought from Japan. But it seems like now, like it's gotten a lot stupider. But it also seems like the digital filing is easier. Like
Mm.
the codes have tightened up more to be less vague, but also you have to get the correct code. It sounds like a fucking headache, but once you've got it down, it apparently like they won't even check your shit if you file the paperwork correctly.
It's interesting. Obviously, this is different because it's items coming from the US to Canada, but like, I think I showed you the prices for those Ahmed Johnson's zombie on eBay, and I was like, that seems like a pretty good deal. I'll pick one of those up. And I think that was shipped with DHL, and I got custom charges on that. And I ordered the NWO Muta from Ringside because that was on sale, and no custom charges on that. So it's always interesting to see how things work.
Yeah, I would imagine Ringside's a little bit better at international shipping. They would kind of have to be, I think,
Yeah, thank God.
like filling the stuff out. I saw some stuff on Totocon, and then I saw they only ship DHL, and I was like, oh, we're rolling the dice on this motherfucker, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't. I think that Ahmed is like the only one I've got from DHL. Like, I don't know forever, but like in a long time, I don't see anyone using them.
Yeah, so like when like 10 years ago when I was buying stuff off of Amazon Japan, they only used DHL, which was cool because I always liked seeing the yellow and red van. The problem is when I created my DHL shipping account, I used my house phone, a landline. So I can't fucking go in and change any of my information now because it has to send a text message to the landline.
And
So now I'm worried if I do buy something from Totocon, is it going to remember that I had the shipment authorization that you can just drop the shit off at the side of my house and fucking move on? But I saw some, there's like ticket stubs on there from old Noah shows. And I have a knack for going on Totocon and finding ticket stubs from shows that I have a fond memory of, like the January 22nd, 06 show. It's where Akiyama wins the belt from Taue. Marufuji and Kenta have the first of two all-time classics at the Budokan that year. Kobashi and Izumida against Akebono and Rikio with like one of the most ungodly finishes in the history of wrestling. Don't know what Izumida got paid that night. I'm pretty sure he's the one that took the finish because I can't imagine they pinned Kobashi. But it was like Akebono was like on the bottom rope and Rikio was like on his back on the middle rope and they did like a giant motherfucker splash.
Nice.
R.I.P. Akebono too. Goddamn.
Yeah, that sucked.
Great wrestler, man. That guy was awesome.
He was really fun.
Yeah, he's also involved in one of the fucking dumbest segments ever on Smackdown. So God bless him.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Pizza. Zero
Great
chance
theme
I've been
song,
walking
too.
around at work. Yeah. Yeah, great tag team with Ryota Hama also.
Yeah.
The fucking, what was it, Super Mega Ozuma powers?
What was it?
Something like that.
Was it? Who was the Lord Warriors again?
Those two and Yutaka Yoshie, who was also no longer with us.
Yeah.
God, Ryota Hama's the only one left.
And, well, I'm not going to comment on that, but he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's not a very tall guy, very, very hefty fellow.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of him. He was a guy that, like, he got into wrestling late, obviously, because he was a sumo. He figured out how to use, like, his size in a way that a lot of big guys just don't fucking seem to understand. Like, he gets the most out of being that fucking big.
He picked up on it quite quickly as well.
Yeah, it's also very funny that he was part of a weird little political game that Kojima played with All Japan because they wanted Kojima to lose the belt to somebody else, and he was like, "Actually, I think I'm gonna lose it to Hama." And they were like, "I'm sorry, the fuck?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm dropping the belt to Hama, and I'm going to New Japan. Fuck you guys."
Yeah, weird times in Old Japan. It's almost like you can read the book on it.
Shoutouts to I was literally just gonna say shoutouts to the Muto years by Jonathan Foy. Oh, I bought the digital version of Faith and Freedom, the Noah book, because I didn't have the money after paying my bills this week to buy the physical copy, but I will be very soon. There's not as much of the artwork as I expected, at least on the digital version, but all of it that's there. There's like a comic book version of the Kobashi Kensuke chop battle.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's so cool.
It's not by that person that did the Dropkick covers, is it?
No. It's by somebody else. There's no Shining Wizard designs in this book.
Okay.
And I think the person that did it, their handle is like Mushkilla, Mushkillah. But I started reading it. The foreword by Michael Modest is very, very good. It's clear that he did view working for Misawa as like an honor.
Yeah.
And it's clear that he still has an affinity for pro wrestling Noah. I read the introduction talking like with Keno's whole like I'm going to bring Noah back to the Budokan. I haven't gotten that much further. I did peruse the book to see the artwork because I was like everything that I saw on like Instagram looked freaking great, and everything that's in there looks really good too. Everything else that like you didn't see on Instagram. Jonathan Foy is a good writer. I do think his 2 All Japan books suffer from kind of needing an editor, but he also doesn't feed into any like Western narrative bullshit. Like he presents the facts of the Muto years. He doesn't act like it's this horrible fucking thing that nobody liked, which I hate hearing that because that's bullshit because I liked that era of All Japan.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah, it's
like
there's a lot of fun stuff there.
Yeah, and like was it the most successful period in All Japan history? No, I also don't give a fuck. I enjoyed watching that shit. Like, I loved when Masakatsu Funaki came back to pro wrestling.
I mean, it's kind of amazing that they were able to do what they did when you consider how it started out. You know, bringing in Chronic and like Goldberg and I mean Goldberg's kind of few matches were fun, but like a lot of stuff at the start that didn't work until they found like their own identity, and you got away from just like the blue ring and sort of added some of their own flavor to it. And you know the Pro Res Love shows that the at Budokan and stuff like that, and some of the talent that came in that they were able to get over, like ROD was pretty goddamn cool back then, you know. And a lot of stuff with like the juniors and stuff. I mean they were booking Kenny before, you know, obviously anyone else but DDT, and Shuji Kondo, of course, and Kaz.
Dude, Kondo ruled.
Yeah, he was excellent. Ahi, I like that character, even though I think it lasted like 5 minutes, where Muto went to Mexico and discovered like a hot pepper, and it was Ahi, and he had like dancers and stuff. It was fun stuff.
Yeah, I liked a lot of that stuff, like the Masayuki Kono Yuji Nagata cage match in 2012. One of the best cage matches ever. You don't hear anybody talk about it because nobody was watching All Japan in that era except like 15 of us on DVD VR.
Right.
And like, I was a huge Suwama fan. It was crazy to see him go from like the dog dick red big dude in the Voodoo Murders. His hair was dog dick red. I mean, he was like his skin wasn't. He didn't have blood pressure issues back then, I don't think. And like, you see him go from that to like fulfilling the prophecy of his nickname from Fire Pro Returns, like new timing, new Jumbo. He was he's not as good as Jumbo, but like for what he meant and how he wrestled, he was basically the modern equivalent.
His first match was against Vader, right?
I think so, yeah.
And I think if I remember correctly, I think he gave him like a German suplex in that match. What a way to debut!
Yeah, I was gonna say that's Vader. Vader debuts getting the shit beat out of him by like Brody, and he gets to pay it forward to fucking Suwama.
And he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Suwama beat the fuck out of people for years. Remember the shit where he like was it Akira Raijin? He like chopped really hard and they had to take him to the hospital because he was having like chest pains or whatever.
Yeah, I think so. Sushi. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was before he was Sushi. Yeah. I think it's like right around the time he either goes to TNA or he comes back from TNA. But he beat the fucking shit out of that guy.
Yeah, because I think when Raijin came back from TNA, they tried to present him as like a big star, and then he ends up as Sushi.
Wasn't he like the first of multiple? No, he was like the second of multiple fake Mutas in TNA.
The first one was Kazushi Miyamoto. Yeah. And then, of course, the last one was Sonata.
But that was Wrestle 1.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did saw that in Wrestle 1.
I was listening to those Between the Sheets shows, and they were talking about Bound for Glory in Japan. And Bix was like, "Who was doing the TV for Wrestle One? Was that Samurai TV?" And I wanted to jump through the internet and be like, "Gaura Sports, Bix, Gaura Sports, motherfucker!" But I think they also aired some stuff on Samurai.
I also like that show when, they pan to the crowd, and it's obviously there's like a bunch of white boys. it's obviously not Japan. I thought that was so funny on that show.
I don't think I've ever actually watched that full show. I've seen clips from it, and I remember there were people on like wrestling figs that were like, "Oh, this show's going to sell out because wrestling is crazy popular in Japan." And I was like, "New Japan is popular, Dragon Gate is popular. Nobody else is fucking drawing right now, buddy. TNA's not going to fucking draw." Didn't they do the thing at Korakuen where they like curtain off the bleachers and that was the entrance?
I think so. Wrestle One was they were rough. They had a lot of things not working very well for them.
That first show was crazy though, like the completely random card, and you get Laughter 7 versus Stack of Arms, and then I think you get like what's the tag match with like Sekimoto on that show? Because I remember I hit up Jeff Lynch like the second I got the email update saying that he had that show. I was like, "Motherfucker, you need to send me that shit ASAP."
You'll probably hear me typing here. I'm just gonna see what that card is.
Yeah, I'm trying to rip an HD version of Funaki versus Suwama off of YouTube and scroll Pro Love at the same time on my 14-year-old Toshiba laptop.
It's probably going to give me the first Wrestle One, not the original. I mean, not the second one, right? Let's see. Oh no. Okay, yeah, I see it now. Sekimoto and Akabayashi against Kazayashi and Kondo.
That's what it was. I knew it was Hayashi and Kondo and Sekimoto was in there. I didn't remember if it was just straight up Strong BJ versus them.
Do you remember what the main event was?
It was Muto and Bob Sapp against Rene Dupree and Zodiac.
Yeah. Zodiac.
Do you notice Rene Dupree's... I think I mentioned this last time. Do you notice Rene Dupree's fucking YouTube channel's gone?
No, but I haven't heard anything about him for a while, so...
Yeah, we got Kai versus Seiya Sanada. We got Junior Stars, which is Kanimoto and Minoru Tanaka against Mochizuki, Fujita, Junior Hayato. I remember this Yoshiko versus Mayu Iwatani. I remember that.
Yeah,
Nakanoe and Hama against Sai and Kohei Sato. This card was fucking crazy.
Shuri was on the fourth show, and they also had Strong BG against Kaz and Kondo on that show as well.
And that one doesn't appear to be taped.
No.
Dude, Nakanishi versus Hiroshi Yamato, one of the strongest CTE soldiers in Japanese wrestling. Junior Stars versus Hayashi and Kondo.
Look who's on the show after that, teaming with Muto and Funaki.
Nakanoe, or are we talking like the next show after?
The next show after that one, 610.
Okay, October 6th. Oh my god, ain't he fucking great? Dude, they're facing Masayuki Kono, Ryuji Sai, and Kazuma Sakamoto. What
Jesus the Christ.
Takayama versus Minoru Tanaka. Kondo versus Okabayashi.
Ooh.
Kono works Nakanoe in an undercard match, like the second match on the card. I think I have Wrestle 1 2013 on Blu-ray. I think it's time I dig that shit out. God damn.
How many times did Sanada and Kai wrestle? Jesus Christ.
God, they really loved booking Kazuma Sakamoto, didn't they?
Sure did.
Oh, remember they did the TNA One Night Only pay-per-view with like Del Rio versus Masakatsu Funaki or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and Funaki was pissed because
it's Funaki and Bobby Roode.
I think Funaki did wrestle Alberto.
He does wrestle Del Rio, but not on the show that I'm thinking of.
Because he was pissed. He's like, this guy has no respect for business or something like that at the time. I remember that.
This one aired in the U.S. and it had a legitimate dream match of mine going back to like this was 2014, so like 10 years. It was Takayama versus Abyss.
Oh yeah. Actually,
Muto Keo and Rob Terry against Samoa Joe, Masayuki Kono, and Rene Dupree.
I think the thing was that they couldn't find Alberto. Like during the show, he was missing, and like someone found him. I think staff found him in like the boiler room at the end or some shit.
What a fucking loser.
Yep.
I saw the TNA version of this because Taz talks about how much he took from Pancrase, which is really funny when a few years later he's pissing himself about Suzuki with the towel. But also, this was a show where they announced Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards against Kaz Hayashi and Shuji Kondo, and then they turned it into a three-way match with like the Bromans. And I remember everybody who was excited for that match just being so fucking pissed that they added those guys in. But they did make it right with the July show, and I have the DVD of this. They ran Kanimoto and Tanaka against the American Wolves. And that was a sweet fucking match.
Dude, they've got the tag team of Rob Terry and Jay Bradley, and then they explode later on.
Has Rob Terry's heart exploded yet?
I think he's still around.
Okay, it's the November 1st, 14 show with Funaki and Del Rio. 7,200 fans, my ass.
Hmm. What a weird
Sonata
promotion.
versus Tajiri versus Matt Hardy.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that was Wrestle 1 versus Desperado versus TNA. Three-way match.
Jesus.
Robbie E, Jesse Goddard, and DJ Z versus Hayashi, Kondo, and Minoru Tanaka. I feel so bad for that team.
Who was the women's wrestler that they were really big on that ended up retiring? Can't remember her name.
Wrestle 1?
Yeah, there was a female wrestler on there that they were booking a lot, and she was like buff, and then she retired, and I think she had a kid not that long ago, I believe. Trying to remember who it was.
They ran Riho versus Kaori Yoneyama on the Minoru Tanaka 20th anniversary show that also apparently didn't make tape.
There's a few interesting women's matches on these shows.
Wrestle 1 ran until 2020?
Apparently. I don't think Muto was involved at the end, though, right?
He's on the last show.
Oh, is he? I thought he had, like, actually left before it.
No, if you want to know how little actually changed, Muto, Ryota Hama, and Yasufumi Nakanoe versus Masayuki Kono, Ryuji Sai, and Kazuma Sakamoto.
I love this tag team. Ryota Hama, Toru Owashi, and Great Kojika.
Hell yeah.
That's a team fire.
I have no memory of Nakajima being the Wrestle 1 champion. That's fucked up.
Yeah, but that dude's been everywhere, so... I remember the new Wild Order, Akira and Manabu Soya.
Jesus. Okay, so he beats Daiki Inaba on the first Wrestle 1 show of 2020 to win the title. And then he loses it 2 months later on the final show. Oh, he beat Shotaro Ashino in a title defense. I wonder if that's going to be a theme for Ashino later in his life. Is he still in All Japan?
Who, sorry?
Shotaro Ashino.
I think so. They had Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz. They were called Scarlet and Graves.
Yeah, that was their original, because it's a play on Ohio State's colors being scarlet and gray.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because that was when they were sponsored by that Strong Style clothing brand, and their shit was like a barbed wire bat, and people were like, "Oh, these guys have Strong Style on their gear." Like, "Oh, Strong Style, have you ever heard of it?" And I was like, "It's a fucking clothing brand. It's not that. These are not like Pete Dunne and those guys doing a tour of goddamn M-Pro and calling themselves British Strong Style. Nothing fucking Strong Style about any. If you're a white boy, I promise you, there's nothing Strong Style about anything you do. Smojo's not white. He's like the one exception. He's like the one Westerner that can say I work Strong Style, and it's like you do, yes. You are very much the modern equivalent of fucking Shinya Hashimoto. That's a dude whose career I think is way different if he goes to anywhere else in Japan but 0-1. Because it's clear he learned a lot about being the top guy from Hashimoto.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, he goes to 0-1 and comes back and he's the ROH champion, and he basically has the same fucking presence as Hashimoto. Obviously much smaller crowds. But like that walk to the ring is every bit Hashimoto in the 90s.
Yeah, I wish he had a better
singles match.
I wish he sort of had a better run in the promotion itself.
Yeah, because it feels like the biggest thing he does is like the O2 Fire Festival.
Yeah.
Where he does the fucking he does the island driver at Differ Ariake, and everybody was, when he comes to the back, everybody's like, "Oh, buddy, you did Boss Man's finisher." Not good. I saw recently, like, because somebody sent me the link, they posted the clip of Joe talking about that from like his ROH shoot interview. I think it was it might have been Kohei Sato that he said was just kind of back there laughing, like, oh yeah, you did your shit in fucking in the building where Noah holds their offices.
Oh.
So somebody did a complete 0102 Blu-ray set, like, God, it had to have been like 12, 13 years ago now. And the legit first thing I did when I got that set was I just sought out all of the Joe matches from the Fire Festival that made tape.
Yeah.
Because, as you do. And he has a match with Kentaro Kanemaru that I remember being uploaded on one of the Ditch sites. And it's one of those things where you see it and you're like, yeah, Ditch has some weird taste sometimes. I don't know about this one. And then you watch it and you understand why that shit got uploaded, because goddamn. That was such a fun match. That was also Differ Ariake. I think he wins that one with like an STF or some shit.
I was looking at Kibrada the other day when you mentioned getting that New Japan show with the fan cam of Muda and Liger from there. And I was like, I wonder if he's got the UFO with Sylvester Terkay as Vader. And I looked, and he did have a few UFO shows, but unfortunately not that one. And I was really sad because I want to track down that match just to see what it's like.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see it too. I have to mention now because you did. So I was looking through Kibrada, who's like a tape trader. Mike's his first name. And I was looking through a site because I'm a big fan of like the WCW guys in New Japan in the mid 90s. And I stumbled across Regal and Dave Taylor versus Nagata and Nishimura. And I didn't pay attention to the rest of the card. I literally just sent him the fucking thing like, hey, how much for this? And then I was at work when he sent me the email, like the thing, like the Google Drive link for the show. And I looked at the card and I was like, I should have looked at the date. Goddamn, this is Muda versus Liger, huh? And watching that version of that match is so fun because I'm sure you've obviously watched the commercial VHS, DVD, Blu-ray version.
Oh, yeah.
The audio in that match is weird. It feels like everything's dubbed in. Even if it's not, it just like the match audio never sounds right compared to like everything else I've seen that's been taped and officially released.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
The ring sounds really weird. The crowd doesn't really match what's going on. But then you watch this version and it's like, no, crowd was into this whole fucking thing. And it's just like, there's something about the Japanese handhelds where like they understand you can't whip the fucking camera around constantly like Western fans do, which ruins like almost every handheld. Like that shit was steady basically the entire show because I watched the whole show top to bottom with one of my friends. Great show, by the way. Like fucking fantastic show.
Yeah,
and it made me want to hunt down every 90s New Japan handheld I can get.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few of them out there.
Oh yeah, like there's like none after like 98, I think. But like I saw the Hashimoto Hase title match from 94, like the really long match. It's a fucking great match. That exists. Is it Benoit and Scott Norton or Benoit and Eddie against the Steiner brothers match?
Sounds
that a handheld exists of? Yeah, and then dude, I was looking through my New Japan WPW Classics DVDs. There's a match where it's like Benoit and Harlem Heat against Hashimoto, Hirata, and Nishimura. And like, I sat there watching like the introductions, like, this is something I would book. This is such an impossibly like me match. I need to know. I need to know who had the book. I think it was Choshu. And then that's the same tour where they book Hashin Harada versus Harlem Heat, which that match was on the
right,
Ditch site way back when. Booker takes a nasty fucking brainbuster at the end, like just ungodly. And it's like you have plenty of evidence the Harlem Heat was a great tag team if you just watch the stuff they did in WCW. But you see the stuff from that like one tour of them in New Japan, and it's like, no, those guys were incredible. Like those guys fucking rocked. And it makes me sad they didn't have more tours over there because like those two against like Chono and Tenzan probably would have went nuts.
Yeah, that would definitely be fun. I would have liked to see Booker when he had his singles run, do some New Japan stuff.
Yeah, Booker and like, granted they switched the G1 for a couple of years to be single elimination, but like Booker and around Robin G1 in like '98, Jesus Christ, his shit wouldn't have made tape though because they didn't like airing the Westerners matches so much because like Alex Wright does Best of Super Juniors '95. One match makes tape. It's a clip match against Pillman.
Yeah, that sucks.
I don't remember who else was in their block, but it's like I remember looking at who all Alex Wright would have been working, and I was like, I would watch every single one of these matches. That's another guy. Like Flair buried him to fucking Meltzer, and just people ran with the idea for years that Alex Wright sucked.
No, I mean he was also. I remember specifically like the end of WCW. He was like one of the bright spots in that promotion.
Fucking Berlin.
Oof.
With the wall.
That's the wall, brother. Yeah, yeah, you know, the Berlin, the wall.
Yeah, but there was nobody telling fucking a Russian wrestler to take down the wall. Because you can't say Gorbachev. That would have been too outdated.
Like the idea that he tried to, it could have ended up for a bigger push for him. I mean, I wish Alex Wright had more. I think, obviously, everyone talks about his dancing, which is fantastic, but he actually was a really good wrestler.
He had a great, like, fucking German suplex and a missile dropkick. Yeah, Alex Wright was the shit.
The German did a great German.
Okay, so it was one block in '95. Alex Wright had matches with Norio Honaga, El Samurai, Brian Pillman, Gran Hamada, Dean Malenko, Koji Kanemoto, Black Tiger Eddie Guerrero, Shinjiro Otani, and fucking Chris Benoit.
I kind of want to see the Gran Hamada match.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think anything exists other than a clipped version of the Pillman match. There's not a single Alex Wright match there that sounds bad.
No.
Not one. That guy ruled. Also, it's crazy that we talked about a WCW ROM hack, and this entire episode has just been us talking about Japanese wrestling.
I wonder if he got pissed at Kanemoto, because I guess he was a bit of a dick back in the day.
I mean, I think he's still a dick now. He beat up a fan and, like, beat up his wife.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he got, like, unceremoniously, like, dismissed from Wrestle 1. Because apparently you can beat up a fan, but, like, correctly, if you abuse your spouse, you should probably get jettisoned. Yeah.
Whose daughter is it that wrestles now? I think it's Minoru Tanaka, right? I think it's
possibly also.
And Marigold.
We have an El Samurai, Gran Hamada, and Akira Nogami versus Pillman, Malenko, and Alex Wright match on tape.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same episode as Hashimoto and Harada against Scott Norton and Mike Enos.
There's a lot of like also buried treasures in like New Japan TV. I've got on one of my hard drives like the full year of WPW from 1987. I think I have maybe from 96 as well.
See, I have the classics versions of those shows, which isn't the actual full TV shows. Yeah. I'd love to see actual like 95 New Japan TV and 96 New Japan TV. 97 too.
Maybe archive.org. Maybe I'll do something there. The one thing I remember from 96, and this is so funny, but Bagwell and Norton tried to do like a top rope like a Doomsday device, but like the buff
Yep.
blockbuster, and Buff completely overshoots his opponent and does like a goddamn.
He basically fucking DDTs himself.
He does like a 450.
We might
It's
be thinking of a
nuts.
different match because there's another one where they do like a power bomb spot where Buff's supposed to like push the guy down, and Buff
Okay.
overshoots and basically does the Mania 25 Undertaker dive. That match, by the way, is on New Japan World. It's
Oh, is it?
Kensuke. It's Kensuke and Kojima against Buff and Norton.
Buff was really fun in New Japan as well.
Yeah, and also if you watch that match, you see perhaps where some of the reference for his taunts in Virtual Pro 64 come from.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to play that game again. It's been so freaking long.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's like I don't loop back around to it as much as I should, but every time I do, there's something like kind of comfy about it because it comes out in like late '96, right?
yeah.
I think I want to say late '96 or like early '97 or whatever. But like it's such a great snapshot of the world of wrestling minus the WWF and ECW in like 1996.
I'm trying to.
There's like a lot of nostalgia for '96 pro wrestling.
I was trying to see if I had the clip of. I could have sworn I posted the video of that Buff blockbuster. I can't find anything, but apparently I said that Buff and Kojima had great chemistry.
I mean, they're in that tag match together, the one I was talking about from '97, and all of Buff's shit in that match is good. He's another guy that gets like unfairly maligned for being a bad wrestler when he honestly wasn't.
I must have been watching these shows in 2017 because I said watching Buff Bagwell no-sell Regal's uppercuts in New Japan is the purest Puroresu strong style. Please protect it from outsider gaijin that want to destroy our honest way of life.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I remember how kind of gatekeepy the mid 2010s had to be just to kind of keep some of the shitheads at bay, honestly. Yeah. Oh, I just searched NJPW on Archive. There's all sorts of like 2010, 2011 shows in here. 1980. Could maybe somebody, just gonna throw this out there, have 1996? Oh man, Battle Formation in the Tokyo Dome. That turned 30 like a month and a half ago. Awesome show.
Oh yeah. I wanted to mention too because someone's probably going to message me. Reika Saiki was the female wrestler that was getting a big push from Russell One. I guess she worked Tokyo Joshi Pro as well.
So I found a best of 90, like a 96 best bouts com tape on Archive, but I don't.
There's so much on there. I mean, you could spend like days and days on end, grabbing all that stuff.
I just want 96 TV, bro. Y'all got New Japan pay-per-views from 08. It's cool.
Well, I think I've got 90. I'm pretty sure I do have the 96 TV, but I think it's on like a DVD somewhere. DVDs, I should say.
I want to say 93 TV from Pro Wrest DVD series.
It's always fun to see those. I remember like way back in the day, maybe from like Corey's Wrestling Tapes or somebody else. I got like
God, there is a name I haven't thought of.
Yeah, it might have been someone else, but I got like a New Japan episode of WPW, not really knowing anything about it, and seeing like I think maybe that's where I saw like the Fire Pro G commercial on that tape. It was always wild seeing that stuff. Like I brought it up a few episodes ago, I think, but like tuning into Japanese TV and seeing the commercials brings me back to that, like those old tapes, and just being like, wow, I'm watching Japanese TV. This is crazy.
Yeah, I remember getting those old like High Spots releases of All Japan shows, and they had like the commercials still left in because they were just pirating the fucking TV show. Yeah. And there was one about like dandruff, and it was like a super up close shot of like tweezers pulling dandruff out of the scalp. Like, they do shit different over there.
Yeah, on American TV they just pull teeth like that Green Day video. That's why I'm scared of the dentist to this day.
I I haven't been to the dentist in a while. I need to get my teeth cleaned at some
Yeah,
point this year.
dentist is scary.
They are, yeah.
But no, it was like cool just seeing those commercials because other than that, if you had like if you knew about like wrestling video games, you wouldn't see like the Fire Pro G ad and everything like that. So it was always cool like getting the TV and getting commercials for the wrestling games as well.
I have a disc of I think '97 New Japan TV somewhere in this house, like one disc, and I think that's got a Toukon Retsuden 2 commercial.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think I've uploaded one of those commercials onto my own personal YouTube channel, and I think it was actually from watching New Japan '97 TV.
Yeah, it's 1597 in the description.
Yeah. So that would just be covering the Tokyo Dome. I think they spent a few weeks covering that. What I did was like took all the footage from WPW that wasn't a part of like the New Japan World stuff and try to like do like a redub thing, merge them together. So like it's got as much 1-4 as possible with the entrances and everything.
And we need big projects like that for fucking Japanese wrestling too. Also,
Yeah.
very funny how much the marketing of Toukon 2 centers around this being the first game to have Inoki.
Yeah, I mean that was the whole thing, right? I mean, the intro was all him.
Yeah, and it's so weird because for the longest time I had like an erroneous memory of him being in like Battle 7. He's not in that
Right.
game. He's not in that game
No,
at all.
I think because he was like in the Fire Pro games, you just sort of assume he was in everything else as well. Like, if why wouldn't he
Yeah,
be in the New Japan games? But yeah, he wasn't.
the Baba's in the fucking All Japan games.
Yeah, I wonder why that
Big
was.
awkward looking motherfucker in that game too. I licensing, honestly.
That's so weird, though.
I'm
Like,
I'm imagining like they were probably like, hey, Big Chin Man, you wanna be in this shit? And he was probably like, back up the fucking Brinks truck, buddy. That's my only guess because like he's in prominent matches on both of actually he's in prominent matches on all three of the shows that the Super Famicom games are named after.
yeah, I'm trying to think if there's. He must be in like other than Fire Pro World. Every New Japan licensed game he would be in after that. After took on 2.
Uh, he's in 2, 3, and 4. He's in Wrestle Kingdom 1 and 2, even though technically 2 comes out after he leaves New Japan. I'm still going to count it.
I don't think he's in. Actually, I don't think he's in Token Advance, right?
I was going to say, I don't think he's in that, and I don't think he's in the Wonder Swan game.
Okay, yeah.
But I haven't played Toukon Advance in. Have we talked about that game?
I don't know if we've done a full episode on it. I think maybe we have because I remember talking about like how some of the animations just look like they're ripped from Fire Pro.
That's an interesting fucking game.
Yeah, it's
Because
but
the exact
when
reason you just said.
yeah, it's kind of eerie. Like it's like, are we sure this isn't Spike?
Are we sure this isn't potential copyright infringement?
Yeah, it's nuts.
I'm looking up Toukon Retsuden Advance now just to be 100% certain. Of
Yeah,
course, our friends from the Game Marks did a video on this.
they did everything.
Yeah, yeah, we're just retreading things they've done. Sadly,
Yeah, we're just stealing their gimmick.
this game has like really beautiful sprite work. Well, why are you picking Scott Norton against Jushin Liger? They're not in the same weight class. Yeah, Liger just did the throat slice animation, and it looks exactly like in Fire Pro.
Did we
Like
actually
1-to-1.
do one on that? I'm looking at the episode list now.
My guess is if we did, it's after Toukon 4.
We've done a lot of episodes.
Yeah, well, the podcast is going to turn 4 in about what,
Jesus
3.5
Christ.
months? Yeah. Think of how many episodes we would have done if we did this shit weekly.
God, I know.
Um, I don't think Inoki's in Toukon Advance.
I don't think so. Also, I don't see it listed here so far of something that we have covered.
That would be one to keep in the back pocket for, like next week.
Yeah, we did Toukon Retsuden and obviously in some of the other New Japan games, but I don't see that anyway.
I
But
like
even if we
Toukon
did, it's been a
Advance.
while. Oh, I do too, because I mean, like I said, it's very much Fire Pro, just with like the straight ahead camera angle.
The Sean O'Connor video on YouTube is making me want to play Toukon 4.
It's been a while since I played that as well.
The arenas look so fucking good. It's got one of the better Cork and halls you're ever going to see in a video game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were down on that game. But I mean, I don't think it's as good as 3, but I think it's not bad.
3 is one of the best wrestling games ever, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I remember when I think I said this when we talked about Toukon 3. When I got on Fire Pro Club, that was the only game in the series anybody would say anything remotely positive about.
Mm.
It was like all the other games sucked. That's the only one that's good.
No, I think they're all good, but like 3 is like, it's like they figured it all out by the 3rd one.
3, we talked about this when we reviewed it. 3 is basically the New Japan equivalent. I would say the Japanese wrestling equivalent of like WCW and NW Revenge. You could
Yeah.
play that game knowing nothing about New Japan in 1998. You play that game for a couple of hours and you feel like you had a pretty good picture of what everything was like.
Yeah, it was a good representation of like the feel of New Japan at the time. Also being like the first game with like all the theme songs and everything. And the roster was like obviously excellent. Yeah, it's definitely one of the games that I think of as like one of the best wrestling games of all time.
It's got one of the best rosters ever. Like it's maybe easy to overlook some of the single license games when you look at like King of Colosseum or even like the modern WWE games where there's like 5 million fucking people. To me, like Toukon 3 has an all-time great roster. Wrestle Kingdom 2 has maybe my favorite roster just based on the legends because look at who all we got.
Yeah.
I wish the sound design in Wrestle Kingdom was a little bit better. It would
Oh,
make playing that
dude.
game a little bit easier.
I popped that in a few days ago, and I just put on a sim, Sheik and Abdullah against the Funks, and I went to a 30-minute draw, and it was the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't believe
Going
it.
into the first Wrestle Kingdom show, I actually played Muto and Chono against Tenzan and Kojima, and it went 30. And it like to this day, it's one of the best matches I've ever played in a video game.
When watching the AI, like they don't do anything until like the last 5 minutes when they realize
So
like
it's
the
like
time.
the WrestleMania 12 Iron Man match.
Pretty much, it's like they realize the time limit's coming up, and then like, okay, let's do something, and still nobody wins.
I mean, that's kind of like wrestling, like time limit draws in general. A lot of them are just killing time until the last 5 minutes.
It made me wonder too if I set the timer for like 15 minutes, are they gonna do the same? Is it gonna be the same thing? You know what I mean? Like, is that
Yeah.
just how the AI works?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that would make
I
for a more compelling match, obviously, if you set it for like 10 minutes, and they're more likely to ramp things up in a quicker amount of time.
I I understand all the criticisms of those games. I still have like a lot of nostalgia. Like I remember getting the Japanese 360 and my friend Aaron staying over that Friday night. And we played. I was Kenta, he was Liger, and we wrestled. I think it was Kanemoto and Tiger Mask 4. We had a 4-way match. It went 30 minutes. It was like the craziest fucking shit. There was fun to be had with those games, but they're far from perfect. And honestly, I'm less likely to play those if I really want a mid 2000s Japanese wrestling game. I'm probably just going to play KOC 2, unless I really need to see the go to sleep.
Yeah, I was so annoyed at Wrestle Kingdom on PS2 that I sold it on eBay shortly after getting it, which was very unusual for me at the time. But I did not dig it at all.
There was a point, and I still haven't played the 360 one recently. I can't get it to work on Steam Deck, although apparently it does work in Xenia Canary on Steam Deck. It's a me problem, I'm sure. There was a point where I preferred the PS2 version just because, like, yeah, okay, you lose Fujita, but you gain Brock and Giant Bernard. But also, like, the visuals get such a severe downgrade. Like,
Yeah.
the rest of their models look good still, but like everything else just looks like dog shit. And then you see like 360 Wrestle Kingdom 2, and it's like, God, that's one of the best looking wrestling games ever. I think if
Yeah,
I played the 360 version again, I would come down on the side of like, no, this one probably is just better. Because better graphics, and I like Fujita more than I like Brock or Bernard, so now I do at least.
yeah, I tried running it by 360. That was getting some like graphical issues. I tried running it on an ISO. But yeah, you were talking. You mentioned the sound design. I know we've done an episode on it, but like, holy shit, is it bad?
It's so lifeless.
It is. It just makes like you want to fall asleep when watching it, especially when you're simming, because it's just like a call here and there, and it's just like other than that, it's just like god damn, there's like nothing happening.
It really does mirror the Day of Reckoning games in that way. Because DOR sound design fucking blows too.
I
Except
think
like DOR one where you have like the butt rock soundtrack, that's at least something to hear.
I think that's something that the All Star games, especially like 1 and 2, suffer from as well. Is like like somebody calling somebody's name here and there, and like they only really go crazy for like when you do a move, they'll go crazy, and then they'll go back to like just silence again, and it's just so like it's really off-putting. And I just wish those games had better sound design as well.
I mean, if nothing else, it's probably an accurate simulation of what being a Western wrestler in Japan is like. Get the
Yeah,
polite
I mean,
reaction for your moves, and then they don't fucking care.
I think what helps us the third game is the rush because the crowd's more active during that, and that happens. Obviously, that's a feature of the third game, so it happens quite a bit, as opposed to like the first and second game where they don't have that, and it's just not a lively environment. But like you can like do an elbow, like a standard elbow, and they'll go nuts, and then you pin someone, and they'll be quiet, but then they'll go crazy for the 1, 2, 3, and it's like so inconsistent. It's like when people complain about like KOC 2. You have that point in the audio where it switches, and you can tell that the audience has just got like they hit the switch, and
There's
the
like
audience
the
is all
buzz.
yeah. But I'd much rather have that than just like dead crowds for like the whole match. It never bothered me because it's like all the crowd's excited. At least I'm getting something.
Yeah, and like with Wrestle Kingdom 2, you have the little crowd meter that like vaguely kind of sort of ties to how they react.
Yeah.
You get like the buzzing once the thing's like red and it's got the fucking like the heat coming off of it or the fire or whatever the fuck.
But there's still dead at points during that too. Like you still get
Yeah,
like the one person calling out.
I need to play All Star Pro 3 again. I love that game. The Vader theme is fucking goated. I've said it a million times over the years.
I don't think there's a texture hack for that one or texture mods, but there is for 2.
I don't. There are some games that I don't know that I would want a mod for. Like All Star Pro 3 looks great, regardless.
Well, I think the thing with 2 is like mostly like fixing up the blood and just like some of the models here and there. The third New Japan ring has barbed wire ropes added, which obviously they're not. It's not barbed wire. Like they don't act like barbed wire, but the idea that it's there is like really cool. And you've got like the New Japan ring with the BVD logo. And I think the third Noah ring was always supposed to be like an All Japan ring, like an unlicensed ring, and I think it's more of an All Japan ring in the actual game itself. And there's other stuff like I think Muta has like the red pants for his main attire. And like there's some other visual changes here and there, which is pretty cool, and it's like translated as well, so some good stuff.
I turned the corner on like KOC2 modding too. Like I need to just get a regular vanilla KOC2 ISO again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think some of the stuff is really cool, like having the different rings or whatever. My issue stems from, and we've talked about this, like if you don't have like a deep knowledge of the way the logic system and stuff works in that game, your edits are not going to perform the way that the defaults do. Because I think KOC2 has great defaults. Like it's
Yeah.
not like Fire Pro where like 8 minutes in they're trying to kill you. I mean they are, but the move sets are bigger and they seem to wrestle more realistically. In every one of the like modded saves I've gotten, the matches don't go very long. It feels like everybody's overpowered. And it's also the thing of like you'd have to be able to like hack the models to make some of the faces work. Like
Mm.
I get putting like Bam Bam Bigelow on Bob Sapp's head, but like it's still Bob Sapp's head. So like if I'm gonna play King of Colosseum, I'm cool with just having my boring vanilla version I've played since so far.
I like the mods a lot. I mean, I was kind of like involved in that early. Like
I think
texture
the ring
replacement.
mods are cool.
See, I go back and forth because like there's the New Japan Lion mark ring, but like the ropes are obviously rings. So I'm like, it's got a red rope. I can't do this. I'm just like that. It's just like I know this isn't the New Japan ring. So I'm like,
Right.
and I also want rings in my game. So like, I removed that texture, for instance, and just stuff like that. But there's also like improvements to like some of the way the arenas look and stuff, which is really cool. I really like the removal of like the Chono logo on the ramp at the Tokyo Dome because I've always felt like it was distracting, and it doesn't work if you're wrestling a match that takes place before like the Aristrist era Chono stuff.
Yeah.
So there is definitely improvements. Of course they've got in the wing monsters, which I really appreciate. But there's like also stuff like having current guys in my game. I got rid of all those because I just don't think it works with KOC2.
Not without like extensive move hacking. Like I appreciate the
Yeah,
attempt, but you can't make Okada in King of Colosseum 2. It's not gonna.
it's also like when people would give like Kenta the fireman's carry like gutbuster for like the go to sleep. It's like I
That
get
was a
it.
Spike recommended change too. I just want to note that.
Yeah, and I get it, but it's just like it's not. And I understand that you had to do that for games like that, and obviously with stuff like the Yaki games when the move wasn't in, it's just like it just doesn't work. I just feel like that stuff doesn't work with KOC two. It's just too much of a change, where I'm just like I can't use this move because it's really not the go to sleep, and I don't like it. And you have
Right.
to do that. You have to do it with the more modern guys, right? Obviously, because you don't have the one winged angel and you don't have
The
the actual.
Rainmaker.
Exactly. So for me, it's too much putting those guys in, And I've always played KOC two as more of like an early 2090s game because of like the younger models of like Chono and Muto and stuff. So
Right.
um,
And like I've said for a long time, that game is a love letter like 80s, 90s, and early 2000s Japanese wrestling.
yeah,
Once you try to do anything that is, and also, shoot style and Kakutogi MMA, once you try to make that game do something it wasn't specifically designed to do, you see, and I say this all love and respect for King of Colosseum, you kind of see the limitations of it because that game makes a lot of design decisions to basically perfectly simulate a like 25-ish year period of wrestling,
yeah,
and specifically one country's approach to it. In honestly heavyweight wrestling, junior matches are not, unless you're playing like Noah Juniors matches. King of Colosseum 2 doesn't feel right for that either.
mm-hmm. Agreed.
Like I learned the hard way with KOC 2, and I love KOC 2. It's my favorite wrestling game probably on a lot of days. But you are not going to be able to play like Liger versus Hayabusa, like the edit template of Hayabusa, and get something that resembles an actual match with those two. It's going to look like if they were both heavyweights. Even if you bump the speed up a little bit, it's not going to feel like junior heavyweight wrestling. So, like, to me, trying to put like Americans in it that aren't the edit templates always feels weird. Trying
Yeah,
to do guys that are outside of that time frame always feels weird. It's like such a specifically like they crafted that game for like that one purpose, and you can't. It's not like the Aki engine or the Aki games where you can mod those into whatever you want it'll work.
Right.
King of Colosseum is like the one thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously they're in his edits, but the licensed legends in Wrestle Kingdom 2 would have made a lot more sense here than they do for, I feel like, the Wrestle Kingdom style of gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Especially like fucking Dick Murdoch.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of problematic wrestlers, but he's also been dead for 30 years, so like doesn't really do me a whole lot of good to get mad at Dick Murdoch being a clan member. It's just acknowledge he's a shithead and watch the matches or don't.
Exactly, yeah.
Great wrestler though. Not a great human being.
Yeah, you can watch matches of people, but also acknowledge that they are not great people. It's possible.
You know what's the weirdest shit about Murdoch being a clan member though? Apparently he would like go to bat for like wrestlers of color if he thought that they were talented and were getting used. But he was a fucking clan member.
Yeah, well, I think clan members aren't the most logical people.
No, and Bix said this on one of the Between the Sheets shows, and it stuck with me because, like, yeah, he's right. Bigotry doesn't always make sense.
Nope.
Dick Murdoch's a great example of it. Like, card carrying clan member would also go to bat for like, you know, black and Hispanic wrestlers if he's like, why aren't you pushing this fucking guy?
Yeah, doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
No, people are fucking weird and complex, and at least Dick Murdoch didn't fuck a 16-year-old and then brag about it for years, but because he does flips, it's okay or something.
Maybe like Dick Murdoch only wore half the outfit. He wasn't fully in.
One of my friends had a theory at one point that like he would just hang out with whatever rednecks had beer, and I was like, okay, but he still had the card. He was a card carrying member. It's at some point we kind of have to just admit like one of the best wrestlers ever, but also a fucking douchebag.
Yeah. Do they actually have cards?
Apparently, because he showed it to Jim Ross.
Wow. That's crazy.
I don't know. What did they look? He doesn't describe what it looks like either. Is it? Did they write his shit down in crayon?
Like a Kmart Kids card or something like that.
Yeah. Does it look like a driver's license? Is it laminated?
I'm guessing it's white.
It would have to be. Yeah, for sure. Probably like red text on it.
Yeah.
Or blue. Or both, so it could be red, white, and blue, because, you know,
I could see that, yeah.
These people think they're patriots, but, like, yeah, Wrestle Kingdom 2's Legends roster would have made more sense, but they also spent, like, a fucking bajillion dollars licensing everybody for this game anyway.
Yeah.
Or for KOC2, exactly. Rather.
Yeah.
Like, there was that one interview, what was it, like 10 years ago on Twitter, where they were like, yeah, we were paying $50,000 for some of these guys.
Well, I mean, apparently at one point in the game, Scott Hall was in there, which is a weird thing to think about because his tights were.
And we almost had a Kara Pro Scott Hall.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff.
I still wish we could have seen the Goldberg, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash Kara Pros.
Yeah, that would have been. Those would have probably been like insanely expensive these days, I imagine.
Oh, dude, yeah, like the obscure guys, as far as Western fans are concerned, like Tiger Jeet Singh are like $160. Goldberg, you'd probably pay a $200 minimum for that guy in the box.
And probably be like All Japan Goldberg, right?
All Japan / Hustle, yeah.
Yeah.
And you probably would have gotten similar for Hall and Nash, but it was on, I think, the Now Home website. He did like a little interview with KWK, and I guess Kara Pro found out their stuff was popular over here and thought to really break into the Western market, they needed to get big name American legends. Because I think KWK says like he almost had the Road Warriors signed, but then Kara Pro went under.
Oh,
fucking imagine Kara Pro Road Warriors. God damn it.
You could have had them with Power Warrior. That would have been really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And they would have had the mold for the pads.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just like thinking like
they could have done all different ones too. They could have done like you know, when it teamed up with Power Warrior, yeah, like 80s Old Japan. Yeah.
and then like 90s All Japan. They
Yep.
didn't really do 3-packs like that, but a 3-pack of them in Power Warrior would have went pretty fucking hard.
Imagine if they did like Battle Arts Road Warriors. That'd be nuts.
Yeah, because that's like a weird in between of like traditional Road Warriors and like LOD 2000.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really fucked up time period for the Road Warriors.
Yeah. Very strange.
And then only Animal shows up in WCW towards the end. Hawk doesn't because he's too busy doing other shit.
I think didn't Animal end up working Battle Arts by himself as well?
Maybe.
I think he actually teamed with Sayama on one show. Imagine that.
Do you
team.
remember the or not even do you remember? Have you ever seen the Hawk and Jerry Lawler match from like '99 on Memphis TV?
No.
It's kind of cool. Hawk shows up in the studio and calls out Lawler, and he does the pile driver no sell spot, and then Lawler does another one to him, and Hawk gets up a little bit slower, and basically it builds. I think Lawler beats him on like the third or fourth pile driver. That's a cool thing.
Hawk working singles was far more interesting than Animal working singles.
He had far more like juice.
It's just cooler
both
as well.
Probably metaphorically and literally. Yeah.
He had a better look. His intros, his promos were more fun.
His promos devolve into being fucking insane at one point too, like more than usual.
Yeah.
Like those singles promos in like 93 and when they try to bring him back in 95. Jesus Christ.
I always thought it was
Wait
cool
a
when he
minute.
saved Kensuke in World War III and like, finding out that they were tag team partners in New Japan.
So Gower Sports uploaded Minoru Suzuki versus Abdullah the Butcher. I knew they teamed in the 07 tag league.
Oh.
I did not realize they had a singles match.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
I'm assuming this is the drizzling fucking shits.
I still think it's wild that Takada wrestled Abdullah towards like the end of UWFI.
Oh, you've seen that match, right? Like you've actually watched it. Yeah?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Fucking hilarious match. Abby is terrified. He is fucking scared shitless to do anything in that match.
Yeah.
And then Takada just kind of wins and he's like, yeah, well, you fucking, that check better clear. Oh, man. Tokyo Pro, like October 96.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think around the same time, there's like a Sabu and Abdullah match for that show.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's some wild shit. Like, I don't know if people realize, but you look at some of these Japanese cards in the old indies, you'll find like the craziest shit that you wouldn't have ever thought you would have seen.
Yeah, Japanese wrestling used to be so much cooler.
Yeah,
they used to be like a lot less honkies.
Japanese dirt indies with like aliens and like fake Onitas and Hayabusas and God knows what else.
Dude, the Ryuma Go match at the Weekly Pro Dome show after Lou Thez comes out and he's like, oh, I'm happy to be surrounded by real wrestling, blah, 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 blah. And then fucking here comes Ryuma Go and the goddamn aliens.
And he's like, God damn it.
He's like, well, at least the check cleared. That's
alien kind of currency. Like, what?
Thez shit on UWFI bringing Vader in because Vader was a gimmick or whatever. Like,
yeah,
the biggest shows in the history of that company had Vader in the main event. What time is it? Fucking Vader time.
He was. I mean, how could you look at that guy and even if he comes out in a goddamn big helmet and shit, and you think that's gimmicky pro wrestling, how can you look at him and think like that dude can't beat the shit out of people for real?
Well, he did the power bomb, and you can't do the power bomb for real.
Yeah, we've never seen that, right?
Who's credited with inventing the power bomb again? Oh, right, fucking Lou Thez.
Yeah.
Oh, they uploaded Nishimura and Kawada from the Kawada reign. Also, I am going to spend a lot of today on the Gower Sports YouTube channel. I can fucking feel it now.
There's also that Quest channel. I haven't bought anything from there. Like they have a YouTube channel, but also they have archives of like UWF and other promotions. I think seems pretty cool.
Yeah, they're I think the video like the home video company.
Yeah.
The UWFI. So if it's the actual tapes they did, which they've been doing on DVD for a number of years, they stopped a few years ago, I think. Those are the complete events. If it's the like UWFI DVD box set they did like 20 years ago or whatever, that shit's all clipped.
I saw that Kbrada had full seasons of UWFI. Do you know which one that is? Is that the clip stuff, or is that like full shows?
I would imagine if you look at the runtime, if the tapes are like 2.5 hours, those are probably
Yeah,
just
good point.
commercial tapes.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I mean, UWF 2.0, like the late 80s one, that company had it good. They did like a complete box set and it's all the shows complete.
Yeah.
It's my understanding it was a box set at least. I got all the shows from that run I wanted from tape and I was just like, cool, I have these on DVD.
Hmm.
But the UWFI shows are nuts because like you're used to seeing them in like butthole like VHS quality. And also through the DVDs, the Jingu Stadium show, September '96, we finally have an actual like pro shot, good quality version of the Kawada Takayama match,
Yeah.
which only existed previously, shot off the jumbotron. And
It'd be
also,
nice
like
to.
TV Asahi needs to get the fuck over it and just air the weekly Pro Dome show.
Yeah, I'm hoping like because they said digital was going to be a big part of the acquisition of New Japan that they really ramp up their whether it's New Japan World or whatever else they do, that we really get some more classic stuff and they really dig deep into it. I think it's criminal that a lot of that stuff is not the easiest to get through,
Agreed. I will say they've been better in recent years, but like there was that whole period where like they just wouldn't upload more than like 5 or 6 matches that felt like a year.
Yeah.
Like I remember one of the first big uploads where it was like we didn't like this isn't from a DVD. They uploaded the previously unseen Liger Sano match from like September '89.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you were on Crazy Max at any point, Dan Gannetti, every time there was a fan vote poll, would go on. They'd be like, "You got to vote for this match. We've never seen it. It's unreleased." And like when I saw that got uploaded, I was like, "I hope somebody fucking woke Dan Gannetti up. I hope he knows about this." But it's a great match. It's not, it's not like Holy Grail 5 stars, unbelievable classic, but it's really good. Liger and Sano only had really good matches. Some of them are classics.
Yeah, I mean they work together really, really well, so it's no surprise.
And it's crazy that Sano also he went from that to like just big bomb throwing heavyweight.
Yeah.
That guy ruled. He wishes me happy birthday every year on Facebook.
Oh, that's nice.
So God bless Naoki or Yuki or Takuma Sano. Whichever moniker he's probably just Naoki Sano again because he's retired.
Probably.
I asked Tabe once, and he didn't know why Sano changed names. And I wrote into the Observer, the mailbag, and Brian Alvarez asked Meltzer on air. This was like 2013, I think. And Dave didn't fucking have an answer for that either.
Maybe it's just like because of the change in style.
Yeah, maybe. I also called into Observer Live once and asked why, like, in the Observer, Dave claims that, like, Hashimoto and Muto were going to work Starrcade 95, and then they didn't. And Alvarez like, that's a great question for mailbag at WrestlingObserver.com. So I sent it in. He asks Dave, and Dave's just like, oh, I'm going to have to research that. And they never circle back to it.
I think.
Why didn't I get Hashimoto versus Johnny B. Bad?
I don't know. Maybe it's because how the matches worked out on the card, and they were thinking like, who's gonna, politics, who's gonna win and who's gonna lose.
And it was interesting because he specifically says Muto, not Muta.
Oh, they would definitely went Muta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think.
It's crazy that he never worked as Muto in the US.
Yeah. It was also weird that JR would reference that he was Kenji Muto on the Tokyo Dome shows that they aired in the US, but then you never saw him as that. And also, I knew people deep into the 2000s. They got mad at me when I would correct them. His name's Keiji, not Kenji.
Yeah, I mean, that's his name.
Love Jim Ross, but like that and Enzuguri, like Enzugiri,
I think
phonetic language.
probably him and Gordon Soley both probably slipped in a few Kenji Mutas here and there.
Oh, fucking Gordon Soley. There's that one, the New Japan TV show from like Eurosport, I think, with him on commentary that I've always found fascinating. I can't find a lot of it.
He also
but
did
I've always thought it was.
the WPW commercial tapes as well.
Yeah, those were like in the 80s, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've never actually seen those, but I've never watched them. I've seen the box art where it's like matches from Japan, and I've never seen a match listing.
I had one of them, and I specifically remember one of the matches was Inoki and Kevin Von Erich against Muto and somebody else, and there's one where Muto does a blade job.
Nice. I can't imagine any of the politically interesting matches like Martel and Flair got released on those tapes.
Don't think so.
That was a holy grail of mine for a long time before, Ditch uploaded it. Because I was like, wow, Rick Martel and Ric Flair. It was when Martel was AWE champion. That match is awesome.
I think one of those tapes, if I remember correctly, was called Bam Bam Bigelow and Friends. Which sounds like a hell of a sitcom.
My bad. My mom's trying to communicate with me while we're recording. What were you saying?
Right. No, I think one of those WPW tapes was called Bam Bam Bigelow and Friends.
That is a great idea for a sitcom. I have like an Abrams UWF tape that I think has Bam Bam on it. And the only reason I remember this is I referenced it to somebody on Facebook, and one of the assholes from Phil Singer Games was like, "Oh, you're the youngest old school fan I know. How do you have that tape? It's older than you are." And it dawned on me that there were people in that community that would just, independent of a lot of things, would DM me really weird, creepy, homophobic shit when I was a teenager. There were people in that community that thought I was doing a fucking bit when I talked about watching 80s wrestling.
Strange.
Like, it was inconceivable to these fucking losers that somebody would have an interest in wrestling that took place before they were born. But these guys are they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm getting a card of the Great Gama. Oh, look at you, you little old school fan." Bunch of fucking losers. Travis Heckle, the old Jim Cornette artist, prominent figure in that community. If you want a good idea of the type of people that are fucking running around there. But yeah, Terry Gordy was like my guy when I was like 16, and there was a guy who looked like the fat kid from Recess. I'm not even gonna lie. And he would like DM me stuff about digging up Terry Gordy to like blow him and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, independent of all of this, like, what about a 16-year-old talking about wrestling on the internet makes you think that's like an acceptable fucking, like, an acceptable thing to say to someone?
I don't know.
Oh, somebody got back to me on. Okay, I want to mention that on air because I don't want Tony Khan coming after me.
What?
No, I made a post asking for footage that may be owned by Tony Khan on Crazy Max, and I actually got a reply. There's ROH on HDNet. Fuck it.
Ah, okay.
But I was talking. There's like a channel that has like the first 40-something episodes up on YouTube, and I might have referenced this last week, but like watching that stuff again, like, god damn, that TV show was so cool. But like none of it's out there in HD. Like none of it's like circulating in high def.
Nothing from HDNet is in HD.
No, it's like 360p, like just bullshit resolution. So like I threw out a fucking post seeing if anybody had it in high def. It doesn't look like this person has the whole. If they're not able for whatever reason to upload this shit, I don't feel bad about looking for alternative methods of watching it. we'll say.
Well, we're getting shut down now.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I mean, we just talked about pirating Japanese fucking handhelds and shit too. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, I've never pirated anything in my life.
No.
Just gonna move these DVDs off the table. That doesn't say 1997 All Japan TV. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I've wanted to watch a lot of that stuff back, and apparently they can't upload the full episodes. There's probably like a rights issue because also
Yeah.
HDNet is now owned by the company that owns TNA.
That's true. Yeah.
There's probably some sort of weird political game to be played there. But like Kenta and the American Wolves against like no, I'm sorry, it was Kenta, Danielson, and Roderick Strong against the American Wolves and Chris Hero. Like, what a great fucking match. Where like American Wolves versus Danielson and Roderick Strong. There's a Kenta Chris Hero match that's excellent. American Wolves versus Steen and Generico on the tables match where they do the Steiner Bulldog through a table for the finish. A lot of American Wolves. It's almost like that run of TV convinced me they were the best tag team in the world by a goddamn mile, because they were. God, we've talked about everything except that WCW game. We talked about that for like 5 minutes, and it's been like 2 hours of Japanese wrestling talk.
Well, to be fair, I mean it's a ROM hack of Smackdown 2. So if you played Smackdown 2, you know what you're getting gameplay wise.
Yeah, and if you like WCW, you know what to expect roster wise.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out because I mean it is really fun.
Yeah, and who doesn't love WCW except idiots?
Yeah.
Speaking of WCW, the WCW page on YouTube put up the 1991 Great American Bash today, which is one of the worst shows of all time.
Oh, nice. That's all.
It has the capture the flag. Capture the flag scaffold match. They got like -5 from Dave because they got to the arena the day of the show and nobody wanted to take the fucking bump.
Can you blame them though?
No. And you get the Flair and Wyndham match because like it's for the vacant belt because Flair left. And I think you get like Sting versus Nikita Koloff, which led to like a shitty fucking Surfer Sting Elite from Mattel. I'm so mad that they didn't decide to do like fucking any other Surfer Sting attire from the early 90s. That was like the one widely available Surfer Sting Elite that wasn't in like a Defining Moments line or like a 3-pack with Savage and Luger.
Yeah.
Like, fuck Bill, man. Like, he's a nice guy. He bought my Poppy Abdul the Butcher, but just fuck you, man. Shout outs to Magic Olmas, though. He's making it a mission of his apparently to fix all of the Ultimates that Bill fucked up. That Goldberg figure looks great. We finally got some decent shots of it.
See what happens at Comic-Con. Should be interesting stuff.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much we see from DC, like the Mattel DC line. Apparently, renders leaked of the Mattel Turtles. I haven't been able to find them yet.
No.
The WWE stuff's going to be interesting because they're apparently going to be making the AEW Supreme style bodies uniform after, quote unquote, at a point with the Ultimates. You know what's going to be funny? The first Cody they do in that style with that articulation, somebody is going to swap that torso onto the Jazzwares Supreme legs and put the jacket arms and jacket on that Cody and have basically like a perfect AEW Cody figure.
Yeah, Frankenstein of Cody.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking hilarious. I think people did that with the jacket on the remember the Mattel Creations one based on his return? I think people did it with that one too. But that's going to be interesting. We might find out who Jazzwares is partnering with, or Jazzwares AEW is partnering with, now that the Jazzwares deal is dead in the fucking water.
Yeah.
We're going to see what McFarlane's post-DC strategy looks like. Oh, real quick. Crazy work making the absolute Batman with the respirator from the fucking Poison Ivy issue, the default $25 one, and putting the $50 like regular absolute Batman, putting that version behind the $50 elite paywall. I cannot fucking wait for Todd to not have a license anymore.
Just wait till they do like the deluxe version that's basically no different.
Yeah.
They'll do another one, I'm
the
sure.
Red label. They'll do like a red label one on the fucking way out. It's gonna be store exclusive, like limited to 1,500 or some dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad that apparently McFarlane are not the ones getting the AEW license. I will
Yeah,
say that.
I'm very curious. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but that's in a few weeks. Next week we'll talk Toukon Retsuden Advance because I don't think there's anything else we have to say at this point.
No, I think we've gone down the road of Japanese wrestling quite a bit today.
Yeah, 3 fucking hours. Goddamn. Well, hopefully next week's not 3 hours. Although when you get me talking about Japanese wrestling, a tangent is inevitable. But until then, take care and don't be an asshole. And for the love of God, watch old Japanese wrestling and play wrestling games.